Shake that ass, hold me tight, move your body, dance all night. You know it's time to rise from the fire.
Ladies, gentlemen, and my NB comrades, what's good, y'all? What's going on? What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Snare Casting with your boy Snare. And we're going to be doing some more I-League action today. The playoffs continue, they never stop. And I don't know why I'm so professional with the intro. No one's paying me for this. Well, y'all are actually paying me for this. What's happening, y'all? Jareen, Baroda? Y'all are the first ones to pull through. What's going on? What's good? How's everything going? How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? Is everything going well that side? I hope y'all are good, and I'm quite excited about today's games because we have Team Aster, a team which I have loved for a long time, a team which I've put my reputation on the line for, and they've let me down. So I don't really care if they lose anymore. But IG on the other side, another team who I've had my reputation on the line for before, and this team has ended up letting me down. So this is gonna be the playoffs of the disappointments. We are so hyped. IG versus Team Aster. I'm just kidding a little bit. Gonna have a pretty rough is the wrong word, interesting game because this isn't the upper bracket. We're not yet at elimination stages. Would require one to lose the game, drop down first, but for now, there's a lot of opportunity for both of these teams, so let's get into it. Let's get going. Team Aster playing on the dire side. They have themselves the second pick. Of course, IG first pick on Radiant, and this is China, so if it is available, Nyx Assassin first pick will obviously be picked. One thing that is very interesting though is that despite the fact that it was left in the pool, we do not see a Keeper of the Light. Generally speaking, if this was like Vici Gaming, there's no way that PYW hasn't clamored for Coddle or that DUI hasn't been like, yo dog, get me that Disruptor right now. Team Aster instead go for the dual core Monkey King Lycan. I suppose Monkey King is to make sure that JT doesn't play Tidehunter. Yo, JT Tidehunter. Yeah, good idea to make sure that you don't let that happen. So, can certainly see what the rationale is here for Team Aster to do that. And then the Lycan follow-up pick. I suppose you get this very fast-paced army going for yourself. You pretty much lock down the off lane. You can, if you really want to, try put this hero in a different position, but now you also have options of playing safe lane heroes like, say, Slark or whatever. Get the Ags on the Lycan, give him the Wolf Bites, and then have that hero go ham in the middle of the fight. We've seen Team Aster do that with Sven before, and a lot with Sven. And so I wonder what the combination is going to be for them in this one, especially now that they've picked Grimstroke, so you'd ideally be hoping that this team is picking with combinations in mind. Oh, snap!
10 seconds remaining.
Oh, I do have a drink. Actually, I have a warm beverage, but yo, Jeeves! Shout out Jeeves. Shout out Jeeves. Shout out to Jeeves. Thank you for pulling through with a big old raid, Jeeves. God damn, wow. Thank you. You're far too kind. Shout out Jeeves. Make sure that you're following Jeeves if you aren't already. Those of you who are only on this side, make sure that you go holler at the Britishman that side. Thank you, fam. I really do appreciate it. IG, come back now for this Leshrac pick. This is interesting because we used to get this Leshrac all the time in China. Leshrac Abaddon, Leshrac Oracle. Now it has tapered off quite a bit. We're going to have Leshrac Phoenix in this one, so the healing potential of Sunray doesn't give you the same massive degree of sustain that you would get in other kind of Leshrac matchups. Nonetheless though, IG, definitely one of the good heroes from Emo as well over the last like 6-7 months, so quite happy to see him bring this one out. And of course, Team Aster has been the one team I think that's played Leshrac the most, especially with the Lana matchups like I mentioned, Abaddon, Oracle, etc. So being able to deny them one of their signature weapons does make a little bit of sense here. Jireena's right. How's things been going, Jeeves, with Perfect Land Gaming? I've been seeing you holding it down that side. You've been doing good stuff. How's it been going? Are the games actually entertaining and fun all through way? Ursa. Ooh. Ursa. The interesting thing for me about this Ursa pick is that it's also a deny pick. They have the Phoenix in their team, so the last thing they want is to be giving away an Ursa who can very easily take down the Supernova when it does trigger. This way, they can at the very least make sure that they never have that problem. they're always going to have the hero with the upfront attack speed, and you have this Ursa hero that is one of the best heroes in the game. I would say second only to late game Slok of being able to challenge Monkey King inside of his own Wukong's arena.
Remaining.
You proc Wukong's as Monkey King, Ursa uses Enrage and runs at you. Half the time as Monkey King, you're actually forced to flee your own Wukong's, which always sucks and it makes you feel very, very good as the IG carry. So definitely love the idea and the rationale behind this Ursa pick. Team Aster though, they'll come back for the Queen of Pain. So we do have the final core hero from them. Well, unless they're playing like Lycan support or something. In this game, the co-op matchup, I suppose it's decent enough versus the Leshrac. My main worry here is going to be Nyx Assassin. I really want to see how this co-op is going to address that hero. Beyond that though, I do think there's some decent itemization available for her this game. I don't think you even need BKB here. Just like a Yules might do it, even something else. Just go like Shiva's God later in the game. They don't have that much easy lockdown on the side of IG outside of that Nyx Assassin, which we just spoke about, of course. Yeah, White Album is indeed DD. White Album is DD. White Album is DD. Hey, Muffy, what's good, fam? It's been a minute. How you doing, Muffy? How you doing? How you doing?
10 seconds.
The thing that is still lacking here on the side of Team Aster, it's kind of difficult for them to use any of their spells. There's not very much setup. They'll need a hero to help them out in that regard. I wonder if Landem is going to play the Grimstroke, or if they'll let him... Like, I hope he plays the Grimstroke, and then Borax plays something a bit more active. Like, this team feels... Luck is not the word. It feels like they're going to really struggle with being able to secure all their spells in a row. Very little control. Their team fight is fairly mediocre, especially when their main team fight spell, Wukong's Command, is countered by the Ursa we mentioned earlier. And now IG go into even more team fight for themselves, getting the Brewmaster. Team Aster have gone in for this last pick Veno. That gives them some degree of team fight, gives them the big AoE in the middle of the fight with the Poison Nova. I don't know if I like it though. I don't know if I'm feeling this Venom monster. It still doesn't feel fast enough. This feels so slow in terms of the support heroes making things happen on the map. There's a lot of pressure on White Album, basically. This Queen of Pain has to go absolutely off. Like, he needs to do everything for his team. We need to get the super early Orchid out of him. Can't afford to be dying. All the spells need to be landing flush on all of these targets. If Ursa, for example, ever gets off the Enrage, what do they do as Aster? If they get to a fight, there's an Enraged Ursa, there's a split Brewmaster, there's a Leshrac with either BKB or Eternal Shroud. This game, I'm looking at these spells, I would imagine both actually. Eternal Shroud alone won't be enough, but then with BKB you won't have any damage. However, having both, what are you scared of at that point? Also, one of the weird things sometimes about this Monkey King hero is the itemization can get a bit iffy in terms of being able to determine exactly what is the item needed to either keep damage pace with the opponent carry or keep farm pace with him. The thing about Ursa is he doesn't have that concern, right? He knows that he just has to worry about damage. He'll be able to outscale you in the fight anyway. Zori, what's good? Oh, snap. I forgot to open up predictions for y'all. Hold on. Before we proceed, let's do some quick predictions. And then we are gonna get into the game. How do I feel about this? So while I'm still making these predictions right quick, the last thing I want to mention about, especially the last pick on the Venom monster, is although that Team Aster is gonna have some lane cover in pretty much all quarters of the map, what they're not going to have is any kind of positive ability to easily rotate. Grimstroke can come through to where White Album is, give this guy the Inkswell, have him go forward, and that can be a tool of initiation, but overall, yeah, I don't know about this. I am not convinced by this last pick on the Venom monster, nor by the Grimstroke. Well, I like Grimstroke, but I don't think it fits with the rest of the draft. But we shall see. This is only game one. It's a best of 3. It is Elimination Dota tomorrow. Not just yet. So let's see who's going to be dropping down first between these two squads as we get into game number 1. IG versus the side of Team Aster. This is the I-League. Let's go. Quickly, who do I think will win? I think IG is going to win this one. I really like the IG balance on this draft. Also, I feel like this Brewmaster hero is moderately underpicked in general. And I feel like there could certainly be more games that include him. So I'm glad to see him here again. And I think JT is one of the better brew players in China. It's probably, ironically enough, between himself and XXX, who I'd say is really, really high skill at this hero. Some of the other Chinese offlaners, you know, as much as I love them, you know, I'm not trying to see Old 11 play brew, man. My heart can't take that kind of pressure. This game, though, speaking of pressure, yet again, to reiterate, all of it is on White Album. So he needs to have a good lane. Monet, the primary pressure on him is just to ensure that he gets farm, which he should be able to attain. Lanem will buy him the necessary space as time goes on. But here's where it's really, really, really important. If White Album has a bad lane, this game is over. Not only does he have to have a good game, you need to rotate very, very often here. The only real easy way you have to make that happen, of course, will involve going to wherever Grimstroke is, getting yourself this Inkswell, and having that be the way that you jump in to initiate. So we should look towards this bottom lane for the first sight of the Queen of Pain rotations. For IG, the game plan is markedly different. They have a lot more static things in mind. Just get your farm. For them, the game plan, if they're not being out farmed, they're winning the game, honestly. Well, they might end up losing Ollie here to First Blood. Will Lanem get him? Yes, he will. IG will end up giving up the First Blood towards the side of Team Aster. This is really good because now JT will not feel comfortable approaching that top lane by himself. He'll be zoned back for a little bit. So Team Aster are going to have a very free time in the top lane for Monet. At the same time, bottom, I'm actually very happy. I'm thinking about this lane between the Lycan and the Ursa. And there's no real way for Ursa to pressure this lane. Especially not with Nyx Assassin as your primary lane support. And the other support for the Lycan being Grimstroke. So we should have 2 lanes of relative free farm for the side of Team Aster. Here on top for Monet, and then down bottom for XXX. And thus far, it's looking all good in the mid lane as well for White Album. So very good beginning to the game. Lanem's also chasing down JT to make sure that this pull attempt isn't actually going to succeed as he wants to. We do see Monet also manage to drag back the wave so that it wouldn't end up just being double stacked for nothing. So XXX will definitely be getting the more farmy, happier matchup out of these offlaners in this game. And this is huge because JT, between himself and Ollie, they need to be the teamfight engines here for IG. So if the two of them are being delayed in terms of their level progression, that also means that the team fighting is going to be delayed as well. Mid lane almost had a kill onto Emo. White Album harassed them close to death underneath the tier 1 tower. Kaka does make a movement into this lane to make sure that this Leshrac does live. However, doing so abandons the bottom lane for this Ursa and makes things a little bit more free once more for that XXX Lycan. Oh, snap. Yo, those are some deep cuts, Jireen. OP God. Damn. Haven't heard that name in a long, long time. A lot of great Chinese players have retired. Sadly, even more great Chinese players have become washed, but there's been a lot of amazing players throughout the time. Mid lane, White Album, will he survive? Oh my god, he will not. Almost was able to get off the blink at the last moment. But Emo, having caught him out with a split earth after Kaka's initiation, they are able to find that kill. That is something Nyx Assassin will always be able to provide if he's nearby the Leshrac. One Impale will set you up to be split earth, and you'll likely die with all the magic damage that comes thereafter. Especially as Queen of Pain gets stronger and stronger and higher in levels, suddenly that mana burn does a pretty big number. I think White Album had the allowance for one death like that. I'm not sure there's the allowance for another. Kaka will now start coming back to the bottom lane. Ursa seems to have been doing fine in his absence, so thankfully the skill of Fly will give Kaka room to relax. He doesn't have to stress himself out too much about having to return bottom. So Ursa's still getting all the CS he needs. Of course, he's got the Alpine set. What else can we expect from Fly? And they actually might kill XXX. Nope. Inkswell on the Lycan Wolf. Make sure that Kaka gets stunned out so they can't close him down with the Impale. Would have been an interesting maneuver. And now we're just back to farming though. Still favored for the side of Team Aster in most regards. And we don't really see any major punishment from IG except for that one death down middle. The big thing though is that JT is getting nothing out of this game. Like practically has no CS to his name. Lanem is just meeting him everywhere he goes to ensure that these attempts to move around the map like this. But whilst Lanem is doing this, White Album almost died in the mid lane. Does manage to blink away just in time. That's pretty big as well. He's drawn out all this support rotation towards himself. Kaka still gonna try go for the pincer maneuver with the Impale. Will not find it. Sure, Venos would have helped to destroy the Ursa lane, but they are demolishing the Brewmaster. That is the one thing though as well, is that Venomonster is one of the best heroes in the game versus Ursa. Because BKB or not, Enrage or not, there's always something to help kite you. I always feel it's better from the core or at least 4 position than from the 5 to attain that particular result. But nonetheless, it is possible. And his power is being used very well right now. Lanem has made sure that JT's game is mightily delayed. And they might even kill Kaka here. Impale will come out. Inkswell will trigger to cancel out the TP. Oh, just in time. Kaka gets out. However, he did retreat all the way back to base, so one less hero applying pressure on the map. And sure, Ursa does get a game, but, you know, not everything's free in this world. And I don't know why I'm getting so much server lag today. Speaking of this Ursa, he finds himself a kill down bottom, taking down Borax. He did attain level 6, didn't need to use the Enrage to make that happen, but enough Fury swipes, and these support heroes will always find themselves taking a tumble. You'd love to see it. Now the question is going to be whether or not White Album is actually ever going to leave middle, because it seems like most of the rotations here from both Aster and IG is bringing heroes toward middle rather than moving mid heroes to the side lanes. This is greatly beneficial for the carry heroes in this game. I mean, of course, not only has Fly been able to get himself a kill, Monet's been accelerating in the top lane. What's he going to build here? Going Battle Fury. So he wants to scale with farm. He has a feeling that this one is not going to be a quick affair. So don't play it as if it's going to be. Make sure that you can keep up in farm. Make sure that you're always scaling later and later into the game.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Has that
One thing that I love about this Aster draft, though, is how quickly they can push. This Veno does help them in that regard massively. It's not just the Lycan anymore that's applying the pressure onto these buildings. And it's very difficult for them to defend against this. They don't have any real great wave clear on the side of IG. So whenever a push like this does come, they're going to be forced back quite quickly. I think that is one thing I certainly underrated about Team Aster's ability with this draft, is just how quickly they can bring down structures. And they're doing such a magnificent job right now of never actually being drawn into teamfights that it's sort of a moot point whether or not they have worse teamfight spells. They've been spreading out, just farming top on Monet, skirmishing a lot. Of course, not that many level 6s available. We'll see how things emerge as these supports get more levels. Lol. Honestly, does anybody else feel all of the new neutral items are actually stupid? Stupid in the sense that, okay, if we're going to the point of giving people the tumblers, toys, and pig poles, pretty clearly the neutral item experiment has failed. We need to do different stuff. Kaka might end up dying here because the Inkswell, oof, almost connected onto him, and it still will. XXX will be the one to clean up that kill. Kaka tried to create the space with the Impale on the Wolf. Regrettably, the duration of the Impale stun not going to be enough. And he will still take a tumble. Fortunately for him, though, they won't be able to press anything onto the bottom tower. And this buys some much needed time for JT. Poor JT, man. Literally poor JT. Gotten absolutely nothing out of this game. Emo will come top to help him out with the push onto the tier 1. But JT is actually going to be forced to go middle. They need the Brew Split if they want to protect the tier 1 middle. They recognize that the Brewmaster is in the vicinity, so this is a good time to leave the fight. Borax actually being ran at there by Fly. Fly still does have the Enrage. This is a very brave place to be playing as this bear right now. Goes in for the Enrage. XXX needs to shapeshift to run himself away from the fight. Fly will now eat one Venomous Gale here. Will he turn for the fight? XXX comes back in to chop him once or twice. There's going to be the Centaur Conqueror stun. Inkswell coming in as well. And it connects onto Fly. Lanem's poison ticks the bear over. And they are able to get the kill. Kaka, will him, JT, and Ollie be able to escape? Maybe not, because there's going to be another stun. Spike Carapace will buy a little bit of time, but it won't buy enough. He'll still end up losing his life. White Album came in to try and clean everybody up with the Sonic Wave. He forced JT into using the Brewmaster split, and now White Album might be in danger himself. Only has the level 1 usage of the Blink. Will he die here? One more right click from JT as the Brewmaster Brewlings congregate back together. JT nonetheless finds the kill. White Album taken out, and we see that core heroes from both sides diving in too deep. In the grand scheme of things, though, Team Aster, the primary beneficiaries of all of this, as 2 cores will fall from IG. Monet gets to clean up JT, and Lanem. This Venom monster seems to actually be the perfect pick for this game, spoiling everything. Got a bunch of gold right now and is not too far away from the net worth of the Brewmaster even.
Must I repeat myself?
Listen, sorry, right? A lot of this is also due to the fact that we're getting closer towards TI, right? Teams have to experiment somewhat and try new things because, you know, they've all been scrimming. But obviously the scrimmages themselves aren't going to teach you everything you need to know about whether or not a draft is viable, a strategy is viable. Need to try these things out in a real game.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
In this instance, it seems to be working out for Team Aster with this last pick Veno. How many of these things will actually make it all the way to TI is unknown, but the data is necessary for the teams in question.
Dire's top tower is being attacked like nobody's business.
And we see Aster actually stacking up with almost the entire team. Everybody but Monet is down here in the bottom lane. Ollie might end up dying here using the Sun Ray to try and escape. He's being ran down though by these Lycan armies. There will be a usage of a Supernova. White Album trying to destroy the egg will not be able to do so. And they will be able to keep Ollie alive, but it's at a major cost. One of their bigger teamfight spells used up now. At the same time, JT was with Fly inside the Roshan pit, so it ends up being a worthwhile trade. They get the first Aegis of the game online. It has been very, very heartwarming to see the return of super early Roshans with Ursa. It feels like in the last patch, we hit this particular bump in the road when all the Ursas were building like Diffusal Blade, rushing into every engagement that we just didn't, even in the previous patch before that, when everyone was going Battle Fury, we didn't just get to see the bear go say hi to Roche, man. Hang out with the big man, shoot the shit, have a few beers. So it's nice to see him going hang out with his homie, get the Aegis online. Team Aster will take the time though to finish off the tier 1 tower in the mid lane. Absolutely worthwhile for them. Although they definitely will not want to fight into this Ursa having the Aegis. Huh. Oh my god. Volvo has to buff Meme Hammer. God, Meteor Hammer. What an item. JT has bought the Hat of Midas, customary item build on this hero. Midas into Ags seems normal, seems legit. And then at that point, even though they had such a torrid start on JT, it won't matter that much. He surprisingly only died the once. So has been able to make a decent enough recovery. Sadly, White Album hasn't necessarily been able to progress as well from his position in the mid lane. We still don't have access to this Orchid. And this is a pretty big game for having the Orchid Malevolence. Kaka's roaming around right now inside the Vendetta. And he desperately wants to find somebody for his team to isolate and kill. Lanem will be the one that comes down the hill. So he's going to be the one that gets targeted first. The Impale will be there. They do get out the Poison Nova before Lanem will die here. And with the Wukong's command, it's also going to be enough to melt down Kaka. Fly forced to pop the Enrage just to try and flee away from this fight. But they're chasing him down. They should be able to kill him. Sonic Wave takes down the first life. And the Supernova does come out. It gets taken away, but it sets up for Emo with the Split Earth onto Monet. So the Monkey King will end up losing his life for this one. XXX looks for revenge. They use up Emo. But Emo, regrettably, or at the very least, regretfully for Aster, they have nothing to follow up on the self-fuels, so they have to just let him go. JT, at the very least, they get the consolation kill onto this Brewmaster. And with the Brewmaster killed, taking away the Aegis, taking away the life of the Phoenix, only really committing the Veno and the Monkey King for this, I'm actually okay with this fight for Team Aster. White Album almost died, and if White Album had died, it would have been the worst thing ever, but the survival of White Album guarantees the purchase of the Orchid. Lanem now stealing away some of these ancient stacks. This is going to make Ursa weaker overall. And another big thing for me is that XXX was involved in that fight. Didn't die. Got a ton of experience out of it. And they still keep their tier 1 tower in the grand scheme of things. Team Aster now. I think, honestly, Lanem, yo, this Lanem pick, I really underrated this Veno. My bad, my bad. But this is why Lanem is the player here. Truly, like, and there's no one item they can buy that's going to make this easier for them. The only thing they can do, once Ursa gets Blink Dagger, they have to hope that they either kill Lanem before he uses Poison Nova, or they make sure that this Ursa stays away from the fight until after Poison Nova comes out, and then the Ursa can jump in.
I don't mean to be alarmist.
Although at the same time, now that they do have that Orchid on the Queen of Pain, it also makes it a lot easier for them to prevent Fly from using Enrage to begin with. No BKB just yet for Fly. And of course, nobody on the team has a Lotus Orb or a Lincoln Sphere. Nothing like that just yet. Team Aster just come top to force through the tier 1 tower here. Pretty sure they should be able to get this one for free. And it's not just for free, they're gonna get some desserts with it as well, as Kaka serves himself up on the silver platter, will end up losing his life. Emo also comes very far forward for this. They're chasing down White Album. They have gotten out the Brewmaster split thanks to JT. The Storm Panda, not even gonna bother going for the Cyclone here. He knows that these heroes are way too mobile. He throws it out for fun onto the Queen of Pain, but I suppose they now defend the tower top. I mean, it's in deny range, so any push that comes after this will easily destroy it. Not so sure it's worthwhile in the grand scheme of things for IG. As Team Aster still got the Kaka kill. They still have some decent lane equilibrium in the top lane. Might end up losing White Album though. Emo wants to try to set up for this, but unfortunately, the setup's actually coming from Borax, who has a freaking Blink Dagger. Yule Scepter will be there to disjoint the Inkswell stun. And so that's actually going to be the two. We were speaking earlier in the game about the combination of Inkswell onto Queen of Pain, and then Queen of Pain blinks forward, and that's the big stun. But Borax is like, who needs Queen of Pain? You can just buy a Blink Dagger yourself. Baroda, yeah, he kept canceling that thing, but he was scared. He was very scared. Now they do know that there is no Poison Nova, and that's the one time when Fly will feel 100% confident jumping in onto Veno. It ended up being a bit of a trap here, though, because Borax and Monet directly on top of him. Inkswell will not trigger, but they do blink forward with White Album, though. Boundless Strike gonna be there. Here comes the silence of the Orchid. Monet cleans up the life of the bear. So even when Poison Nova is not coming out, Lanem is still ensuring that Fly dies. Kaka does manage to survive being chased down by the XXX army. And they're looking for revenge onto Borax here for what has just befallen some of their comrades on the map. They're at least going to be able to find him. Still though, Fly has been dying and not been able to really find himself with adequate farm. He's got Blink Dagger, Diffusal Blade, decent enough progression, but compare and contrast with Monet, who doesn't have any such difficulties as what Fly is experiencing. And him with his Battle Fury already finished the BKB and is leading into the Aghanim Scepter now. And Ursa is just far off the pace of where you can challenge the Monkey King inside of the Wukong's command ring. Hey, young Johnny! What's up, Johnny? What's going on, fam? How are you doing, Johnny? It's good to see you here, fam. It's good to see you here. Quickly, what? Did you bet on IG on this on money? Top lane, Kaka. Looking for somebody, but nobody home. Will they at least get Lanem, the thorn in the side? Kaka looking for this Impale Stun, will not be able to land it. They get the Yules out onto this Queen of Pain, but the Orchid Silence makes sure that there will not be a split earth. Sonic Wave will throw out some damage as they destroy the Supernova, and the Wukong's command coming in onto everybody. The Soulbind will make sure Monet can easily isolate two targets with the Primal Spring. Fly also isolated close to the outpost, and he can do nothing. JT, they're running down this Brewmaster. The Brewling, they'll let it go. They know killing it will just ensure that the Flame Bruling is where he'll respawn. So, instead, they'll rather come back into Roshan. 4 heroes being taken down. Oli Supernova not being good for the money at all. Oh, boy. IG, they didn't have any vision before they decided to go careening up onto the high ground. Once they'd missed on the initiation on White Album, I really thought that they were going to just turn tail and run. But they keep chasing. And it's not like they don't know that Team Aster is extremely strong at this stage of the game. IG, though, the decision-making being made by them ends up really costing them. Also, look at Emo's build. I do not see any consideration about how bad it is spell-wise from the enemy team. There's no BKB, there's no Eternal Shroud, just going for the Aghanim Scepter so we can get that Nihilism. It'll be interesting to see how that pans out, but it still feels like they need BKBs, need some kind of way to actually play the game here. Instead of just showing up to the fight and immediately being bounced back or being prevented from casting any spells. Kaka here. Oh, we'll break the smoke so they know that he's in the vicinity. This will give information, though, towards his team to flee from down bottom. And he actually might try to set up for a kill onto White Album, but White Album has vision. White Album knows what's up. And they get the Yules out. Kaka, Spike Carapace, the Impale only connecting onto these creeps. Next XX will clean up this next assassin. Well, it looks like this is the answer towards the Chinese Nyx Assassin. Let them have it. Demolish them when they do. And then be like, oh, you sure you want to pick Nyx, buddy? You sure?
Subjected to extreme violence. Radiant's structures are beautifully fortified. Dire's middle tower is under an extraordinary...
Oh, boy. IG a little bit tilted right now, apparently. His Team Aster will be back in with his Helm of the Overlord army. And the Lycan and Lanem pushing in onto the tier 2 tower down bottom. This, of course, will open up the outpost, which Borax is already waiting to claim. And the thing that makes this very difficult right now for the side of IG is that if you look at their draft,
not just the heroes in question, but the itemization that they've gone for. They've itemized to be in a somewhat winning position, or at the very least, drawing parity. They do not have catch-up items, except for this Hand of Midas on JT. Ursa went Blink Diffusal into BKB, which is, you know, the de facto build on this hero. However, when the game is going this poorly for you.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Also, I love the fact that we saw it earlier, the gem that got picked up by Lanem, and them utilizing it to kill Kaka.
Tower is under attack.
The biggest tool IG would have had to still delay this game and buy time. Hold on, we'll talk about it in a second. As top lane, JT might end up losing his life here. Phantom's Embrace, Inkswell into the Orchid Silence will prevent him being able to use any spells. No split, and without the split, he will definitely die. Emo, he ate the full Poison Nova all by his lonesome, and remember, there's no BKB, there's no protective items besides the Yule Scepter, so that Lycan is gonna die. Oh, get the kill onto the Lesh. Down bottom, Monet might be the first real fight we see that IG are able to find, because Monet doesn't have any allies nearby him, but he just drops the Wukong's command and fights everybody alone. BKB Wukongs, they cannot fight him within it. Monet almost lost his life. The Ursa, for a moment, looked like he might be able to express the advantage that the bear has over the monkey. But regrettably, the monkey is way too far ahead.
Radiant's middle tower is under
By himself, holds back 3 heroes. And I think that's the game. That's just the game. That's just the game. That's just the game.
Strange to say, Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
If that Supernova was maybe a little bit on the high ground from Ollie, I'm going to take camera control here for a second, because they cast the Supernova over here. If they had the Nova on the high ground from this Phoenix, maybe. At the very least, they forced Monkey King to leave the Wukong's command.
Singular pronoun.
But the way that they actually initiated and executed that fight made it effectively impossible. Now this Monkey King. Yo, it's crazy strong. I mean, look at the experience advantage as well that IG has at this point, as we quickly see them finding and killing Kaka. Oh, he goes invis and there's no gem nearby. The gem is a little bit further back, so they can't utilize it at this point in time. They do drop down a sentry to make sure they can scout Kaka coming for them. And Kaka maybe a little bit too forward, buddy. Might need to retreat a little bit. IG still in it, Zoro? Sorry? Alright, cool. Let's go. Let's see if IG still got this. This has to pay massive dividends now. Aghanim Scepter picked up for the Leshrac, so Emo does have the Nihilism at the ready. To be fair, in the event, right, that there's no BKB activation from Monet, or if you're being ran down by the Lycan, then being able to use Nihilism will actually keep you alive in many instances. And we've seen him before being ran down by the Lycan army, so that might be the consideration. So that when Lycan gets close to you, with the army, just pop. There we go. Oh, here might be a turnaround. There's no BKB on this Queen of Pain just yet. But she will activate it now after the Yule Scepter of Emo. Poison Nova doesn't really connect. And they still are looking for the life of this Leshrac. Soulbind was there, though. And that enables them to get that little bit of extra punch to get the kill. Lanem on the high ground, looking for a way to bring down Ollie. They force out the Supernova, himself and XXX. And they should have enough attack speed to take this one down, unless Fly comes in to block them. The egg finally goes off. It stuns out this Lanem Veno. XXX trying to run away, but Monet here to make sure that he's going to be able to get out. Maybe not, because they use him into the air. But now Ursa, who's he going to look to challenge? Still trying to chase the Lycan, but the Lycan gone away from the fight. But look who they find. It's White Album, the Bash. Almost killing the Queen of Pain. She is still alive. She eventually does die. It will cost the life of Ursa. He does have buyback, though. All right, signs of life from IG. Although that fight didn't go exactly according to plan, it came a lot closer to breaking in their favor than it really should have. We saw in that fight, Emo almost solo killed the Queen of Pain. If Emo was a little bit more leveled, if he had level 18, we'd be staring at a dead White Album right now. Which is absolutely terrifying. So Team Aster find themselves Still being able to take the fight overall, still getting the tier 2 tower, still keeping Monet in a very good place, still killing the Ursa, but definitely not taking it with as easy a fight as they've been going in beforehand. Although Monet is disgustingly large. Look at that Monkey King. So huge. Still though, might be possible. Aeon Dust being built up right now by Brewmaster so that JT can ensure he gets off the Brew Split. And he also has the Aghanim Shard as well for Avoid Bruling. So that obviously is going to also have some degree of impact in the fight. XXX and the gang. They can't really chase for Kaka. They know that he'll have allies behind him. And IG not giving up, despite how bad the game is looking. Oh my god, Borax, dude! Relax, fam. Blink, Aghanim Shard, and a full Hex available for this Grimstroke. Oh, this is really good. This is very good. They get Lanem, but it's not about killing Lanem. It's about reclaiming your outpost, and now Poison Nova on cooldown for 100 seconds. So even when Lanem is back online, you can actually go and fight as IG. That is so good. We've already seen in this game the impact that Poison Nova has. And frankly, what the team fights look like for Aster when Poison Nova isn't available. And, oh, mid lane, White Album. Utilizing the quick Bloodthorn, blinking forward. I mean, already down at this point to the 8-second BKB charge, so you know you don't have that many long duration usages out of it anyway. At the same time, Borax and the gang, they actually found a kill. What? Did Borax solo kill JT? What? Okay. Kaka is definitely going to die here. Gem of True Sight is available, so no potential for an escape on this next assassin. He does have buyback. JT does not. And Team Aster are going to charge and careen up the high ground here. They've got a Lycan army. It is time to at least get a tier 3 tower and potentially look to force your first lane of racks. Emo, though, in trouble. They do have the Nihilism, but they need Emo alive to use it. What a jump from Borax. Inkswell, the Hex, they get everything down, and the Leshrac is gone. No buyback for him. They are able to also get the quick kill onto Borax and Revenge, but they don't care about this on Team Aster because they're jumping forward with the Sonic Wave from White Album, bursting down onto both supports, killing them immediately. Borax, what a player. What an absolute god. All right. All right. That's amazing. That was quite impressive. That was quite impressive. That jump from Borax at the end there, that was, that jump gave me everything. That was life itself. Regrettably, though, for IG, yo, IG were taken to task on this one. This Veno, last pick Veno won the game. It created so much space. JT didn't have a laning phase, right? From the top side of the map. From the very beginning, the hero that was going to solidify their teamfight presence was not able to. Got level 6 way later than he wanted. Got Aghanim Scepter way later than he wanted. When did he get Ags, actually? Got like 20 minutes? Got a 22. Not the greatest timings in the world for him. Emo's game was okay, but there was just too much to do. Fly couldn't actually assert himself in any of these fights due to the presence of this Venom monster. Simultaneously, JT having to recover for so long meant that all the pressure... I was talking earlier in the draft about how I think White Album is the one that has the pressure to play this game well. Turns out all the pressure's on Emo. White Album just played a standard and basic Queen of Pain game. Like, didn't need to do anything special. All the special things were being done by his supports. Borax as well. Dude, genius buying this early Blink Dagger. Ensuring that they would have always some kind of way of initiating with the Inkswell, even if Queen of Pain wasn't nearby, and it gives them the ability to initiate without having to risk the life of the Queen of Pain. And then Queen of Pain just comes in for cleanup, and that's what she did. There's a reason why she's able to die 3 times in the game in total. Not that great, but dish out 20k damage. And look who dished out the most damage, though. It's our Venom monster here. Yo, shout out Lana. Shout out Lanem. Shout out Lanem. Guanye. Oh, so he's using the God of War. Baroda, listen. It wasn't the cleanest game by any stretch of the imagination, right? But I think the reason it wasn't as clean as it could and should have been, IG clearly were not prepared for this, and they didn't know how to deal with this last pick Veno. I think as well, one of the things is that, you know, sometimes you play Dota more with the feel of the game or with a feel of where you should be at that particular point in the game, rather than assessing what the actual game state is like at that point. Regrettably, I think this is what happened here for the side of IG. They felt that they should have been able to fight more often, so they kept pursuing those fights, even when they actually didn't have the capability of winning them. To make matters worse, when they would go for those fights, and they would try to make those engagements happen for themselves, they would do it in either bad places on the map, or would just execute very, very badly, without real clear vision of where to go. They were too flustered, way too flustered. And I think part of the reason why they were flustered is because in their mind, they're like, but these are our comfort picks. JT Brew, Kaka Nyx, Ollie Phoenix, Fly Ursa. This is what we do when our backs are against the wall. So what do we do now? What do we do now? We're going to see what they're going to do, but whatever it is, it's got to be better than this. Team Aster take the resounding Game 1 victory and now putting themselves in position to proceed in the upper bracket here in the I-League. Of course, there is still, it's a best of 3. There's still another opportunity available for IG to show us that they have that championship caliber, that they are still a tier 1 Chinese team, and why they belong in the upper bracket. Because this definitely ain't it, Chief. But we'll see what's going to happen with that in game number 2. So in the meantime, stick around. Make sure you're following the channel if you haven't already. And if you are a follower, you're enjoying yourself, consider becoming a supporter. You can either be like Johnny, throw in some bits, can become a subscriber as well on the channel, or you can decide to make a one-time donation through PayPal or Patreon. All the information for that you can find underneath the stream. And with that, everyone, we are going to take a break. Game 1 in the books. Team Aster 1 game up. Let's see if IG can bring this one back and take us to a decider. So go get some water, and when we return, some more incredible Dota 2 action.
Ladies, gentlemen, and my NB comrades, welcome back here to Snare Casting as we continue with this I-League action. Got ourselves into the playoffs right now. Vici Gaming yesterday will be playing later today. You know, they got through the first round. IG also got through the first round, but are looking not nearly as good as they did yesterday. They dispatched the Elephant in a 2-0 fashion, and they're coming here and looking like they might be suffering a 2-0 themselves. Game 1 was not a very kind affair, and they got shellacked pretty hard. So, after all the hands they caught, let's see if they can bring this one back for game number 2. Team Aster, of course, have the leading position, so a lot less at stake for them. But let's find out which one of these two teams going to have what it takes to take game number 2, force a potential game 3, or just have IG dumped down unceremoniously into the lower bracket. Let's get into it. IG on the Radiant side, and already their draft is a lot better in my opinion. Game 1, we saw them being very insistent on getting the Nyx Phoenix as the opening duo. This time around, they're like, alright man, I guess we pick Coddle, y'all. Team Aster, interestingly enough, still end up banning away that Nyx Assassin, but Coddle now comes out for IG. Much, much better in my opinion. Team Aster go Lich Pudge. Been seeing a lot of Pudge. I'm still not convinced. Personally, I'm still not convinced by this hero. It could work, but I'm still not yet there. Jareen is not known yet. There could be. I've seen Pudge played in 3 positions: in the safe lane, in the support, and in the off lane. All right, now that we have a safe laner and we have a off laner in the Bloodseeker, this is most likely going to be support Pudge. I'm not convinced personally, but we'll see. We'll see. There are some interesting combinations here. Stormhammer sets up for the hook. Of course, you have the combination between the Bloodseeker Rupture and the hook. That's probably the main reason why they went for this duo in the first place. And of course, you do have some kind of setup with Lich. Eventually, you level up Sinister Gaze, or even just having the Frost Blast slows you down long enough that Pudge should be able to get off a pretty nice hook on top of you. For IG, they went for the Void Spirit second pick, one of Emo's better heroes. I actually think it's probably his best hero, honestly. Emo Void Spirit is really, really scary. It's not Shin-Q Pudge. Yeah, this is most likely Borax Pudge. I say most likely because there is still a slight chance that it's going to be a White Album Pudge, but we shall see. Hell, White Album could actually play the Bloodseeker, and then they decide to put the Pudge into the off lane as well. For IG though, their consideration is going to be going for the Io Ursa after this Bloodseeker emerges. They still want Fly on the Bear. Fly on the Bear versus the Sven. This is also one of these intriguing kind of matchups, right? Similar to what we saw now with the Monkey King in the previous game, where for the Ursa, the big thing is that despite the Sven having, you know, access to things like Warcry, there is still a big possibility and big capability of you as the Ursa just ripping him to shreds anyway. You just post up on him. He thinks he's stronger than you, and you're like, nah, cuh, I'm posting up, I'm coming through. But at the same time, Ursa not only does that against the Sven, right? A very good matchup against Sven in that regard. Ursa's one of the better heroes in the game versus Pudge. So this is going to be very interesting to see exactly how Team Aster are going to deal with this. I feel like they probably wanted to lane the Pudge with Bloodseeker in whatever lane they had where Bloodseeker was going to be. Now, I'm not sure that's a good idea. Becomes a bit of an iffy kind of thing at this point in time. I also really like the fact that they have this Night Stalker lost pick for themselves. JT really struggled to get any kind of influence going in game 1. Night Stalker, even in games where you're having a fairly bad start, you still just need Blink Dagger, and you'll at least have one good fight. Blink, when you go for the Crippling Fear, at least one good fight is going to come from that. And Team Aster come back for the White Album Magnus. Magnus into Ursa. Alright. Oh no, I don't have LGD bias in our chats, Jareen. I have LGD bias in my heart. Deep in my heart. Listen, every now and then, right, before I go to bed, I still, you know, I'm there, I'm about to go to sleep. I'm still like, LGD should have won TI against OG. It still bothers me, like real talk, it still gets to me. It's still like one of the best grand finals ever, but LGD should be on that Aegis right now. And now though, last pick, White Album Magnus.
I'm not a fan of this into Ursa. At the same time, they do have more kiting for the Ursa now. But I don't know, actually, about this from White Album. It doesn't seem to me as big of a spoil. In game 1, you know, we were talking about the potential. Like, I didn't believe in that potential from the Venom Monster because it was the 5 position. But the potential on paper for that hero to become a spoiler in terms of kiting the Ursa around pretty much perpetually. Here, the kite potential is they have Rupture, they've got Pudge, Dismember, they've got Sven Stormhammer, RP. Even Lich to a lesser capacity can make it hard for Ursa to maneuver around in the fight. But IG also has IO this time around. They don't have Phoenix in the background. They have a legitimate save, but not just a save, they also have some repositioning for themselves. Not just repositioning, you also have Kaka. Yo, Cuddle. Yo, Cuddle. Yeah. Cuddle. 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 IG. Let's go game 3, IG. I believe. I am not really... Like I said, I'm not convinced by this Pudge pick overall in the meta. And I'm really extra, like super not convinced by having Sven Magnus as your primary 1-2 duo versus Ursa. Although maybe the argument could also be that Ursa now has so much to do against all of these heroes that he might not be able to do so efficiently. However, I'm also not really seeing that many tools for dealing with this Void Spirit either. And I feel like Emo should have a pretty free game. I don't see any like instant disables. Their burst damage on the side of Aster sort of requires them to use ultimates in order to take heroes from 100 to 0. I think we're going game 3. I think game 3. So what do y'all think? We're gonna... Oh, crap. How do I keep... Okay, when we get to game 3, somebody please remind me to open these predictions. My God. Alrighty, there we go. Predictions open. You got 5 minutes to decide who you think has got this. IG or Team Aster. Game number 2. Let's get into it. Another big thing for this game, JT... He had a lot to do game 1, failed to do so because of the absolutely torrid laning phase. But in this one, the possibility exists of coming back in and making things happen on this Night Stalker. Everester, my favorite player in LGD. That's a hard question, right? I have 2 answers to this. Lol, Borax. That's why they picked Pudge. GG. Well played. That's why. The only reason the Pudge is in the game. For that play right there. Lol. So my thing with LGD, you know, obviously I love Ame because Ame's been around from the jump. And I think Ame is one of the most exciting carry players. For a long time, I've always loved watching Ame play. In the current roster, though, of LGD, I will say that I have simply learned about Dota by watching Nothing to Say play. Let me just put it that way. Nothing to Say has made me appreciate Dota. I didn't think I could appreciate Dota more than I already do, but Nothing to Say. He's like, nah, cuz let me let you know what's up. And simultaneously, I've recently changed roles, like in terms of how I play the game. And every time I change roles, I always go back to one of my favorite teams who always make Dota innovative. Faith Beyond, baby. Faith Beyond in the off lane. What a player. So basically, my favorite player on LGD, yes, that's my favorite player on LGD. Top lane, we see Team Aster being able to draw a kill out of Oli. They have 4 heroes here. They are insistent on making sure that they will not have a bad lane matchup. This Ursa did port bottom. Wait, how did this start? Who was top to begin with? Because I see that he ported bottom. He's the only one that has made use of these TPs. Okay, Monet's coming bottom now. So XXX was there beforehand. We were trying to match up the Ursa into this Bloodseeker. Which is with good reason, right? It's one of the better heroes to be able to trade against the Bloodseeker lane. So I can certainly understand why that decision making was taken by the side of IG.
So much blood.
That being said, I'm not sure that the lane against Sen is bad enough that this sucks for you, so... We'll see who's actually going to be more insistent on making the perpetual swaps here.
A rust into a ruster, lol. Baroda, honestly, like, without nothing to say and having Zhao 8 in the mid lane, I honestly think that's improved the team, like, by some margin. In large measure. Oh, middle. We just see some body blocks on Emo. That kind of sucks. The big thing, though, is that you can see LGD, they're not playing the same way with Zhao 8 as where they played with Nothing to Say, which means and suggests to me that in the event, say, that Nothing to Say can adopt similar playstyle characteristics to Zhao 8, which should be easier for him than it is for Zhao 8 to do in the opposite direction. It's an additional dimension of play that's available for LGD that might not be available for other teams. Mid lane, Emo yet again skewered underneath the tier 1 tower. White Album almost got the kill onto him. Emo will need to pop this water rune. Will he live here? White Album has the skewer very shortly. Shockwave, will it connect? No, it won't. Emo able to dodge that one out with the dissimulate. Does have to go all the way back to base, however. So White Album has done a phenomenal job in that mid lane of securing himself not just the victory in the CS, but he's going to be very far ahead of this Void Spirit, given how much time he has to free farm here. Bottom, we're going to see Sinister Gaze already leveled up by Lanem, and the Frost Blast coming afterwards. In tandem with the Rot Slow from Borax, easily enables them to kill Fly. Alright, so this is what they were dodging. Not necessarily the matchup into Sven, but the absolute tri-lane disaster. Nobody trying to play into that. And Team Aster making sure yet again that this early laning phase is as difficult for IG as humanly possible. Fly now ports top. Of course, they're going to move XXX down bottom. And the thing is, because of the heroes that are in tow right now for IG, in terms of the support of Coddle Io, Coddle and Io can't make the same like aggressive play as, say, the Pudge and Lich just demonstrated down bottom. All they can do is try to just help out and solidify the laning capacity of their carry heroes. XXX might end up losing his life down bottom, but I doubt it. JT is also just sticking around here. Maybe he wants to walk down instead of TPing down so that he can come back to the top lane if needed. Fly, they try to get the hook out, but they miss. So now they know that XXX is gonna have no real assistance here. They throw out the blood rights, but no absolute way for him to live. And they do the right thing. They make sure Fly is the one that gets that kill, because they recognize that he's not getting that much CS right now. So being able to give him the shot in the arm of a death will help quite a lot. This mid lane. Oh, bottom. Ollie, is he gonna die here? There's no tether target nearby. Sinister Gaze drags him back. Oof! Last minute survival there. 20 HP. Manages to still survive at the end. Gets a salve off. And JT has now shown up. Did eventually make use of this teleport scroll. And it seems Team Aster are content enough with what they've achieved in terms of CS in the early lane that they don't feel it necessary to swap again. And I mean, why would they? They've got 3 lane wins yet again. White Album has dumpstered Emo middle. Even with the Resonant Pulse Shield. Against White Album, against this Magnus. Just impossible to keep pace. And Kaka is going to show up middle. At this point, only has the 1 point into Illuminate. Ooh, top lane. Borax loses his life to Fly, but XXX gets immediate revenge. Yo, this Pudge pick is working out, yo. This Pudge pick is just working out. Monet putting more pressure out onto JT. Sinister Gaze thrown in as well. But not as easy a target to kill as perhaps Ollie was earlier. And even then, Ollie didn't die. JT, though, still in a position where it's going to be quite a while before he feels comfortable with how this lane's been going. Mid lane, Emo, where's he going to go? They're going to try and hook him back. Fly is in the vicinity. There's going to be an RP as well. Do they get this kill? Yes, they do. There's no astral step to get him out of dodge. Fly even came closer to maybe think about helping out. And that's going to be time that this Ursa is spending not farming. And IG is getting taken to task right now in every aspect of the map. Ollie's at least going to try and block this Ancient Camp, but
It's already got some pretty juicy creeps prepared for the Sven to be able to bring down later. Hell, the entire triangle just looks like a nightmare. Monet is gonna get so strong after clearing up that farm. He might actually be able to kill Ollie here. Sinister Gaze drags him back after the Frost Shield provided the necessary slow. Dude, Team Aster is even more dominant in Game 2 than they were in Game 1. And we have a little bit of server lag again. It is what it is. Hello? 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 Dota 2? Hello? Okay. Alrighty. That was, that's something. Unfortunately, we are privy to the whims of the Great Chinese Firewall. But we're back. We're back. Emo, as is being said in chat, has had a really rough time here early on. And well, God Strength triggered by Monet because Borax in the vicinity. They're already ready with the additional damage. Stormhammer comes out. They drag back JT. There will be a Illuminate Blast coming in from the Coddle, but there's absolutely nothing they can do. Oh, the support Pudge. It's working out. Fly in the top lane will find himself getting ruptured, but this is one of the reasons why Ursa's so good against this Bloodseeker. During the rupture, you just enrage through it. Takes so little damage. Doesn't manage to get the kill though. And we turn our attention down bottom as they do manage to chase down Kaka behind this tier 1 tower. Emo's gonna try and make a rotation in from the mid lane to look for revenge. And they're gonna make the dive onto Monet. Drag back with the hook. Borax. The allied save will come out because of this. They do catch a very nice Aether Remnant coming in from Emo. And this might finally lead into the kill they need. And they get it, bringing down Monet. Sven does die. XXX kept alive in the top lane by a rotation from White Album, who goes in onto Fly. Will they kill XXX? One more right click from Fly might do the trick. Ollie running himself away. He gets on the blood drive from XXX. Ollie, will he be able to keep Fly living? No, he cannot. Eventually, the damage from White Album will be too much. And XXX somehow stays alive. White Album chasing for Ollie. Thinking about skewering forward, and he will do it, but this might be a mistake. Solar Bind coming in from Kaka, and the tether on the backside from Ollie. They end up punishing the greed and aggression from White Album. And while that's happening, Emo and the gang, they know that there's no Magnus available, so they want to try again for the Sven down bottom. Although, with the support of Lanem, this is a much more difficult endeavor than they thought. The jump away from Emo, he's kept alive from Ollie by now, but the Frost Blast. Lanem will make it happen. They get the kill they need as they bring down the life of the Emo Void Spirit yet again. Fly looking for revenge. He wants XXX. Has Earthshock in a moment. Will he be able to reach him? Will he be able to get this kill? One more right click. He finally brings him down. That's for the lane, my friend. In IG, these last few minutes of constant aggression running at Team Aster perpetually ends up paying off as they walk away very, very happy by being able to grab themselves not just several kills on the map, but ultimately they brought themselves back in terms of the farm parity on the map. JT will die in the bottom lane though, or not. Ollie kept him alive for quite a while. Regrettably, that quite a while will not be forever. And also get the hook on. Dude, Borax. Bro, we talked about this, Borax. It is only a game, my friend. We discussed this, Borax. Borax, my friend, you need to relax. It's only game of Dota 2, dog. It's only a game of Dota 2. Just chill. Take it easy.
Bottom tower is being subjected to extreme violence.
And just calm down, my friend. Yo, these hooks. This aggression. His positioning pretty much freaking everywhere. He needs to chill right now.
Celebration. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower.
Still, as it stands right now, Team Aster, despite getting all of those kills, it's not like they've been able to put themselves very far ahead on positioning on the map.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
9-11. Lol.
Radiant's bottom tower
XXX getting taken down as he loses his life. No revenge gonna be there from Borax. And they've only gotten that tier 1 tower down bottom. They've already lost their own tier 1 up top. Fly will catch up. Fly is getting back there. Still gonna be building Diffusal Blade, but has the Ursa with backup from the IO this time around. So not just playing raw into the opponents, and has better straight up matchups. Bottom lane, JT will be able to survive thanks to using Crippling Fear. Sinister Gaze does still emerge from Lanem, but Dark Ascension, Crippling Fear, you're fine, mate. And of course, whilst this is happening, Fly yet again grabbing an early Sunday drink with his main man Roshan. They're gonna try and stop this potentially. Emo, will he die here? Dissimulate with the Astral Step. He should be able to survive. He gets relocated out, in fact, as we see the bear running forward. Lanem might be the one that's in danger, but Fly, he only has 1 life and no BKB, and has already committed the Enrage as well. He might really end up regretting having dove so deep. Does find the Earthshock to go down to the low ground. Links up with the rest of his team. There's not going to be a kill just yet onto a target without the protection of the Aegis. They threw in the Chain Frost as well. It flew and traveled really far across the map. And Team Aster, Emo jumped back in and he does manage to find Lanem. Okay. And White Album, he gets baited yet again. Going too far forward. Looking for a potential RP, but the Crippling Fear Silence yet again applied by JT. Twice now we see White Album dying close to a tier 1 tower in pursuit of greater glory. And IG, a much better showing from them on this go around. Sure, they end up committing the Aegis, and it sucks that they give it up so soon. Well, it actually didn't have to be given up, honestly. Like, Fly did not need to die there. But I think part of what's happening for IG, and this is a correct read I think they're making, and why Fly keeps jumping forward for every fight, is he reads and he understands that running away from Team Aster is not going to work out for you. They have this Pudge, they have this Bloodseeker, they've got this Magnus. In fact, we've already seen in this game what tends to happen when Team Aster is chasing targets rather than when they're being chased. And you always want to be putting them in the being chased position. Bottom, well, Kaka, you got chased, my friend. I mean, this is fine. They kill Borax middle, and in doing so, you know, they're putting pressure on this tower. And yeah, sure, you lose your life bottom as the Coddle, but they needed to commit the RP to make that happen. Certainly a worthwhile exchange on the map. Emo. I think, is Emo going for Yule Scepter or Aghanim Scepter? I think he's not sure yet either. He'll decide soon. We'll see now a fight happening bottom. And they went in. They want the damage to kill Lanem, but woo, Monet turns up the temperature by throwing in the God Strength. And with XXX coming in with the Rupture onto JT, they make sure that there's no possible kill. RP not available, but the Skewer still will be into the Stormhammer. Monet cleaves through the double targets. And we have a huge team fight win for Aster. Think about it. They were running down Monet as well as this Lich. I know I was talking about how you want to be making sure you're not getting chased too hard by Team Aster, and it's reasons like that. As soon as you start turning your back towards them, it's very easy for them to chase you down, reposition you, bring you to a place where you definitely do not want to be, right in front of a Sven with God Strength. Massive fight there. This is going to give Monet a lot of gold. Only 800 away from having the full BKB now. His opposition in the Ursa only has a Blink Dagger to go along with his Diffusal Blade. Did not opt for any kind of farming item. Team Aster with another farming item picked up for XXX. They've effectively secured themselves the late game now. So IG, they're the ones that need to be playing with the tempo in the succeeding, like, what, 10-15 minutes of this game? I don't think they can afford for this to be a passive one. And they're definitely searching for a kill here with the smoke. JT and Kaka not coming across any viable targets just yet.
If they had the Blink Dagger already on JT, this would have been easier to accomplish. They see Monet now, but they also know that there's no way Monet is here without having allies behind him. So he is a terrible target to go on. Can't miss Impale if you don't have it, lol. Kaka, of course, having a better game on Keeper of the Light. He's almost got his own Aghanim Scepter, so then they'll have the Ignis as well. The Ignis for me is going to be huge as a counter-initiation spell. Look at the itemization from the heroes on Aster. White Album still going for his Echo Saber. XXX not going for BKB just yet. He wants Sleipnir. We only have the one BKB finished on the Sven. And, oh, Fly doesn't have BKB himself. And, he's dead. Woof, he's very far away from anybody. Ollie was hoping to maybe relocate him out of trouble, but no chance of that happening, my friend. At the very least, it gives time for Kaka to finish Aghanim Scepter, but using Fly, that's what, his third death of the game, fourth. Jeez. Things not going as well for him as he would like to otherwise. Still, the general game state is better for IG than it was in game 1.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
They haven't lost any completely decisive fights just yet. Emo's actually involved in the game. He did go for the Yule Scepter. So we'll most likely see him angle towards the Aghanims now, or Blink. But first he has to survive this jump. Will he be able to? No, he will not, because he's a dead man for sure. Woof. Ouch. 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 At the very least, they'll reveal... I mean, I don't think they needed to reveal the Ignis middle. You know, that was a bit of an overcommitment on that one. They could have just gotten that kill and still had the Ignis for the fight they want to take in the top lane. Now they're going to be... At the bright side, though, they know that the RP is still down. And so does Team Aster, and that's why they're trying to flee so quickly. And they do manage to get out of dodge in time.
Under attack. And not in a
IG unable to find the initiation they really wanted. Team Aster's game sense. Sometimes it's actually kind of crazy. Another thing that's kind of crazy is the farm rates of the Sven, who's just now picked up a Blink Dagger. The scary thing about this Blink is now Ollie needs either Aeon Disc or Glimmer Cape. Like ASAP. You need some kind of way to make sure that the Sven has a rough time just jumping directly on your face and bringing you down. Emo. Still no decision just yet. Okay, there we go. Aghanims will be queued up for him. The Resonant Pulse Silence will certainly make a huge difference in a lot of these engagements here. Because it really does feel like, for the most part, this team is just having a rough time with control. Even with JT. But it's large measure they don't have this Blink Dagger from him just yet. Still feels so far away for this Night Stalker. And of course it does look like he wants BKB first before getting that particular Blink. What's Cuddle Shot? Oh, Cuddle Shot is this one. It's the one that gives you the recall. It's very good this game. You should definitely get it. I actually think it's kind of a requirement in this game. Because you'll have Io on the one hand to get heroes out of trouble, and then you'll have Cuddle being able to bring heroes into the fights. Also, we see how rough the game is when this Void Spirit opts against finishing off the full Aghanim Scepter and rather will stop over for the Blink Dagger. JT will get caught middle. Was in a very risky spot. IG sometimes... It's just very clear right now that Aster have the better read of the game, because consider what we saw in the top lane. Right after this Pudge died in the mid lane,
Immediately, everybody from Aster ran. They turned tail and got the hell out of there. JT, considering where the IO died, he should have also ran away immediately. But stuck around to finish off a creep wave. Ends up dying. They end up losing the tier 1 tower in the top lane as a result. And not that it's too big of a deal, though. IG. Still building, though. Still building. It's only a very shallow net worth lead at the moment in favor of the side of Team Aster. Only 3k. Not very impactful by any stretch of the imagination. Team Aster will now have to watch out for an upcoming smoke. Now that they have everybody online, IG would love to have been able to find the Roshan, but oh, they're gonna come across Monet. This is huge. Aether Remnant is there. He gets saved though by Borax. There's gonna be a Stormhammer out onto Fly. Monet can get off the BKB. Borax, dude. I thought we spoke about this. Relax, fam. Relax. He might still die here, but hashtag worth. This is a death you'll gladly tank for the rest of your team any day of the week. You know they've committed the Enrage. They've used Dark Ascension. They used the Ignis. Wait, did they use Ignis actually? No, they don't. They just used the Cuddle ult. So Grandfather form is up. Aegis is available now, but Aster are also aware of the positioning of IG. And IG will know that there's 0% chance we can take this Aegis against Magnus, against Lich, against Bloodseeker. And because this Ursa hasn't actually had that great of a game, he's not really presenting threat to this Magnus or the Sven in the way that he was hoping he'd be able to. Hell, even Pudge doesn't seem scared of this Ursa. But Pudge does have 10 Flesh Heap stacks, so, you know, a support hero with north of 2k HP. I think he has more HP than any heroes in the game. Except for Sven. Yeah. Except for Sven. He has more HP than any hero in the game right now. Seems balanced to me. I see no problem with this. IG. Oh, Fly. Blinks back. He's the first one that comes across the smoking inside of Team Aster. They get the catch now onto Kaka, and Kaka will be able to drop down the Ignis thanks to the cover given to him by Emo. At the same time, Borax yet again with the hook, finding Ollie. Yo, I must say, Ollie has not had a good day at the office. It's been a very rough day, but also not the best day in terms of his own play. His positioning has been quite suspect several times across the series. Using the numerical advantage here, Team Aster are going to try to get themselves into the Roshan pit. Will they be able to bring down the Aegis? It's very, very low right now. Rupture thrown out onto Emo. He dove way too deep. And Monet cleaves him and the Roche at the same time. Picks up the Aegis. And now everybody else from IG is routed. Kaka. Dude. White Album, what did Kaka do to you, fam? That's like the third solo RP onto a Coddle this game. Damn, I guess he's really pissed about what happened in game 1 with the Nyx Assassin. But, yo, it's not that deep, my friend. You won the game. Relax. Fly. Fly. I don't know about this one, fam. The very least does force the BKB out of Monet. I'm a White Album, excuse me.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Oh boy. Oh yeah, Jui, that was a strat back in the day. Back when recoil just came for free. People used to do dumb stuff like that. It was great.
It would appear Radiant's
You could also do it with Chen as well. Team Aster now 7k gold lead. Monet very, very far ahead of everybody on the map. White Album as well, looking quite good. And he disassembled, of course, his Echo Saber to finish the BKB, but he might still have a new one delivered in now. Nope, he's actually going for the Orchid. Why not? Fly. Sinister Gaze. They caught him. He's dead. Is he? Where's Ollie? Okay, Ollie's there with the reload. Not so sure the full reload was necessary, but maybe they want to stack up for a fight here.
They can get themselves ready. Night Stalker not nearly by. Monet is going to be here. They just bring back Ollie and let Ollie be the one to tank the gag by himself. I feel like if they brought back JT, then maybe they actually find that kill. But JT is busy farming the triangle right now to look for Blink Dagger and needs to TP out soon. He's so close. If he dies now, oh my god, that would be heartbreaking. If he dies or is forced to use BKB, that would be heartbreaking. Another thing that's heartbreaking is that, look at this. Borax has Blink Dagger. So because he has Blink Dagger, Emo can't have a game of Dota. Fun. Fun, fun, fun. Void Spirit even bought the Dissimulate shot just to make sure he has extra routes of escape in the fights. But they are just making this game impossible for him to play. They're going to kill down bottom Lanem, which might lead into a possible breakdown onto Monet's life. Unfortunately for them, Gleipnir thrown in by XXX. Ignis will be there as well onto this Bloodseeker, so they may be able to just get the kill onto the Bloodseeker, but Borax yet again with the hook onto the high ground. Fly brought into a bad place, but Io still there with the sustain, keeping this bear in good stead, and the BKB is helping as well, but it will not help forever. Monet with White Album, eventually they will have the damage, and the Aegis also protected the life of Monet. Oh boy. Double kill for Borax. XXX does die, but yet again, another massive fight in favor of Team Aster. Emo wasn't alive due to being jumped in the top lane, so couldn't provide any kind of assistance. And once more, Borax with the key hook, changing this game around for Team Aster, making it seem like Pudge is actually a legit hero.
I would like to point out that Radiant's middle tower has
Jareen, this is the I'm hating life build, and I can't do anything build.
tower is under attack.
This is the I'm not actually confident I can finish an item build. This is the, well, when I started getting enough money for Aghanim Scepter, I noticed that everyone on the other team has BKBs now, so there's no point doing this anymore build. This is the I'm screwed and no one is helping me build. Certainly, though, it is a very difficult time to be playing this Void Spirit. His team still smoked up. The big thing here, though, for me is that 2 games in a row, they failed to be able to really involve JT or show us why they picked this hero. Well, they're gonna get White Album. All right. That could be a big deal. He activates BKB, and they don't have bashes, so he just TPs out. Fly also relocated in with Ollie. At the very least, they're gonna find a tier 3 item in the dire jungle.
Dire's structures are fortified. They are looking
Would have been better if it had dropped just before they forced the White Album Magnus to leave, but whatever, it's fine.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. That's the
For now, though, Team Aster still very content to just play behind their Sven, who's just finished a full Satanic. If they get the next Aegis, they might actually decide to give it to White Album rather than the Sven. Don't think he really needs it anymore with the Satanic available. Especially not with how big his lead is versus the Ursa.
Radiant's top tower has fallen. Surely that middle tower is under attack. I feel like a broken record. Radiant's top tower is under
Monet.
Sorry,
It's full Satanic. Ursa does get a Basher, though. So this time they do have some kind of tool to cancel TPs, additional control, ways to hit you hard enough that you stay inside the Ignis. And they're doing a good job splitting the map here, IG. Despite having been behind in gold for like the last few minutes, it's been sticking around this 9k level. Hasn't hovered much beyond that. Ollie doesn't have reload. Can't get his fly out. Okay, he can finally do... No! Oh, no. No. The tether broke. The tether broke. Not that it would have mattered. I think they still had enough damage to kill Ursa. He didn't activate his Enrage when he activated BKB. I think he was expecting that Ollie would be able to get him out, but... Oh, boy. Ollie with his positioning this game, not the best. Well, this series, really. And, XXX might die here. Being dragged back by the Ignis. Illuminate Blast. Triggered out by Kaka. JT just right-clicks him down, and... the BKB charge expended for good reason here.
Dire's top tower is
certainly a hefty chunk of gold going into the coffers of this Night Stalker.
Has that ever been cause for celebration?
Doesn't do much, but it will at the very least still make sure that this game is delayed further, which ultimately is the important thing.
Seems to be the day for it.
IG. You just never know with IG. You know, IG, well, it's maybe not as high variance as like Elephant, but you just never know with IG. It actually might be as high variance as Elephant. I don't know. The thing though, I think the difference between IG and Elephant is that you get the sense that if IG on their day are like legitimately amazing, you know, Elephants, even on their day, sometimes you still have this lingering fear and doubt about whether or not they'll take a victory. IG showing us a side to them that none of us really enjoy seeing, but also that none of us have not seen before. This is not new. But still, they're in this. They haven't completely given up the ghost. This Ursa still getting itemization for himself. Wants an Aghanim shard next, just to make sure that he has that little bit of magic immunity.
Radiant's top
Well, not magic immunity, a rage immunity. Just to make sure that just for a second you stay alive. Would be great if they had an LC with shard as well. Then you actually get magic immunity from press the attack. Sadly, JT cannot build anything near that exciting. He's just going for a regular ass basher on that Night Stalker. It's not great to say, but that kill they got middle just now onto XXX was one of the biggest contributions of the Night Stalker in this game. It is part and parcel of the issue that they're having at this point in time. Oof, White Album looking for the horn toss out onto Emo. Unfortunately, the Astral Step came first. IG corralled inside their base right now. They're gonna try go for the aggressive smoke. They know there's no Aegis online, and the possibility exists that the big man is coming home very, very soon. But look at Aster. What a read. Scan perfectly onto the IG position right now. The question is, how do they look for the fight? Emo jumps in first, and they've actually already bursted Ollie. Forced to buy back. And BKB was also used by White Album, so they need to be a little bit careful in this fight. Ollie actually relocates in for this. Ignis drop down. Emo wanting a target. They get back the drag with the Aether Remnant onto XXX. Jump in. White Album finds an RP but only hits air. JT's in with the BKB as well as with the damage of Emo. And the two of them able to clean up XXX as well as the support Lich. Next to fall will be Borax, and they lift Monet up into the air. Remember, BKBs were committed on the first go around, so they don't have them available for the second. He'll make use of the Satanic to survive a little while longer, but a little while longer is not forever. Abandoned by his allies, he will be left to fend for himself and die alone. Massive monster kill streak ended. Fly claims his life, is gonna claim the Aegis. They're gonna get the cheese and an Aghanim's blessing. IG might just be back in this game after all. Real talk, no cap. Emo is actually a god. Emo is actually amazing. If Emo doesn't make that initial jump into the river, which forces out the early BKB charge from Magnus, forces out the BKB from the Sven as well, at that point, the fight becomes trivially easy for Team Aster if they have BKBs for when the IO comes back. But when the IO returns and JT is going forward, they don't have BKBs. Instead, it's the opposite. JT is the one that has the magic immunity. Fly is the one that's taking 0 damage from your spells. And legitimately, in the blink of an eye, a minute ago, it was a 12k gold lead for Team Aster. Now, we have a slight lead in favor of IG. Ursa, second in the net worth on the map. Picked up the free Aghanim Scepter, bought himself the shard, and now almost has the full Abyssal Blade at the ready. What a fight. What a fight. What a fight. Oh, Shireen, that's hilarious. Oh, wow. IG, at this point in time, really does feel like this team have taken control back in this game. I think also we should pay attention to the fact that XXX has literally not progressed on this Bloodseeker since picking up the Gleipnir. Oh, they find Fly. This might be a big deal, but JT's here with a crippling fear onto absolutely everybody. Abyssal Blade onto White Album, and they'll bring him down in a blink of an eye. XXX follows him into the grave. Lanem threw out the Chain Frost, but to what avail as he's already gone. Borax led down by a Fly, and the Ursa will find the Pudge, allowing Emo to grab himself the double kill. Have IG done it? There's no buybacks. Only Bloodseeker has it. Oh my, has IG done it? Oh my god, IG. JT, I was talking about how he hasn't been able to assert himself in the fight in the way that his team needed him to. Right after that, he starts doing it magnificently, and we see the power of this Night Stalker with Blink, BKB, Crippling Fear. Legitimately turns every fight. And they recognize that only Bloodseeker brought back, that the rest of the gang didn't return, but they're being a little bit indecisive about this. Unfortunately for them, there's still tier 2 towers available in the bottom and top lane, so they will be limited to a single lane of racks. But considering what the game state was like literally less than 5 minutes ago, this is beyond a blessing. What a turnaround in experience and gold. Woo! This is basically the climate change draft right here. This is the hockey stick draft. What a rise for IG. Oh, we can spot exactly when the Industrial Revolution began. Monet. Oh god, Monet getting jumped. Borax, this time around, there's no salvation for Monet because JT jumped in front of him to block the hook. Rupture from XXX down onto this Night Stalker, and White Album jumped in to try and get the kill, but the reload out from Ollie, they're keeping JT alive, and White Album realizes that instead he's the one that's gone too far forward. The Bear keeping the rest of Team Aster inside the base as IG claim the game. GG is called by Team Aster. Woo! 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 What a freaking game. What a turnaround from IG, yo. Yo. That turnaround. They end the game. Like, everyone has Blink except Ollie, who of course just is going in on the pure survivability. But that one fight turned everything around. Because the thing is, it's not just the fight that happened that helped them to turn the game. It's the fight when it happened that gives them Roche, gives them a cheese, it gives them a free Aghanim's Blessing on Fly. It gives them so much better positioning on the map because they take a tier 2 tower. It gives them a forced buyback out of XXX, delaying the non-existent Blink Dagger even longer, or BKB, excuse me, even longer. Also, this fight gave them the one item they needed, Abyssal Blade. Beforehand, they pretty much had no answers to BKBs on the side of Team Aster. After they get the Abyssal Blade, BKBs are no longer a problem. Remember, the big thing here is that Fly, if he's against Sven, or Magnus, or Bloodseeker, or Pudge, and he's not repositioned, and that hero can't escape, and he's not dying, Ursa will kill them every single time. Ursa will win that fight. Every time. Literally every time. Ursa will win that fight. So, in this situation, after getting Abyssal Blade, suddenly they can ensure that these heroes are sticking in front of the Ursa, and he can just do this. And it works. Woof. Look at the hero damage. Look at the hero damage of Fly. That was great. That was great to watch. Fantastic turnaround to come in there from the side of IG, taking the one crucial fight. And the thing is, to make it more impressive, is that Aster were prepared for that fight. Aster was set up for it. Aster got the initial scan, They scouted out Ollie and they killed him initially, so they wouldn't have that initial tether. But what they didn't envision was just how good Emo was going to be on the Void Spirit. At the time, I don't think he had the Aeon Disc yet, did he? No, he didn't. He just had literally Blink, Aghanim Shard, and Yule Scepter. That's it. He goes into the full team alone, forces 2 BKBs, gets out, and allows his team to take that fight. I am so impressed. I'm so impressed, actually. Yo, Emo. Shout out Emo. Shout out Emo. Emo, like, this was a team victory, don't get me wrong. And also, great job from JT to finally get involved in the game. Consider how different this Night Stalker looked after getting the Blink Dagger, and just how impossible the fight seemed for Team Aster. Imagine this Blink was like here with the BKB, how different this game might have been to what we inevitably got anyway, which was an IG victory. So, whew. If you bought or bet on IG, has Aster won any games with Pudge? I don't think so, but I'm not 100% sure. Personally, I'm really glad they lost with Pudge. I would have felt like such a jackass for having twice questioned the wisdom of Lanem if they won. Now I can be like, man, Lanem doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. What this guy doing? Sincerely though, and seriously, IG, phenomenal game from them. Phenomenal game. And I really can't wait to see what they're going to bring to the table in the next game. But they need a break. Of course, they're going to go and think about that game and be like, guys, I mean, right now, obviously, IG is in massive celebration mode. But Team Aster, let's just say I'm pretty sure the Discord server is not as loud as it should be right now. People are like, let's go have cigarettes. We'll talk in a second. Because IG, honestly, should still have lost that game. Team Aster did drop the ball on this one. They dropped the ball pretty massively on that loss. From that Roche fight, it was like a downhill slide in terms of their perception of what to do in the fights, which is weird given how good they looked beforehand, right? That things would just suddenly take such a backward turn. The nature of Dota 2, primarily a game of margins, and when those margins are encroached upon or changed, suddenly the entire game result is different. So now, IG, they take us to game 3. They take us to the finale. So we will now have one more game to determine which of these two squads moves on, not just in the upper bracket, but into the upper bracket final. The big deal. It's a big deal. Lots of scratch on the line, lots of practice for TI on the line, lots of Chinese pride hanging in the balance. So let's see which one of these two squads is going to be good for the money once game 3 graces our screens. In the meantime, make sure that you don't go anywhere. Make sure that you're following the channel. If you had a good time, you enjoyed yourself, let me know what you think. Pull through in the chat. Holla at a boy. You know, don't let me be yelling into the void all willy-nilly. Let me know what you think. Join our Discord server where you can be a bit more pointed in your critique if you'd like. Of course, make sure that you're following me on Twitter. And if you're having a great time, consider becoming a supporter here of the stream. Become a subscriber, throw in some bits. You can also decide to become a patron on Patreon or give a young one-time donation, all of which is beyond appreciated. Like, yeah, it is the reason why it's possible, not just for this to happen, but the upgrades. You know, the green screen's back, fresh as hell mic, beautiful camera, all of this due to your support. So thank you so much for it. And I hope I will receive more of it. And so we can make the stream even better as time goes on. So with all the shilling out of the way, game 3 coming up, go get a glass of water, take a walk, call somebody you love, tell them how much you love them, and come back here in about 10 minutes and we will resume with some I-League action. Game 3 of Invictus Gaming versus Team Aster coming to you shortly.
Ladies, gentlemen, and my NB comrades, welcome back. We are here for the finale of the series here in the winner bracket semifinal. Got ourselves Team Aster taking on the side of IG, with one of these two squads guaranteed a place in the upper bracket final. The other one dropping down to the lower bracket, having to battle all the way to figure out a way to get to the podium finish. But the winner, of course, will have the easy road. The games themselves, though, have not been easy between IG and Team Aster, and it's been a difficult climb for both of them to get to this final stage. But Team Aster, their consistency over the series was rocked
by the last 10 minutes of what IG brought to us. So let's see what's going to happen here in game 3. Oftentimes, in my opinion, when IG pushes you to this point, you end up losing the series. So we'll see if that prediction will come to pass, especially with the draft, because IG, woo, game 2, they had the Coddle banned against, or the Nyx Assassin banned against them, and they chose to go back for the Coddle. But this time around, Kaka's like, you know what? If I'm gonna die all the time on the map, I'm gonna die all the time on a signature hero. And they not just get the Nyx Assassin, they get the other signature hero. First 2 ban on the Monkey King allows them to pick the JT Tidehunter. That's what's up. Oh snap, Ginger Boogie. What a legend, Ginger. Yo, listen. Some of y'all have just gotten some free subs from Ginger. Y'all need to thank him. Shout out Ginger. Really do appreciate it, fam. Shout out Ginger Boogie. Yo, shout out Ginger. Yo, I want to see this. Where's the gratefulness? What's happening? Where's the gratefulness? This is what I want to see. There we go. That's what we like. There we go. That's better. Thank you so much, comrade. I really do appreciate it.
5 seconds remaining.
Who are you rooting for on this one, Ginger? Thanks for doing so, because now I remember to do the predictions as well. Team Aster versus IG. Personally, I do think that this game is going to be the most fun one of the day. Even if I take the second series into account, I think this game 3 is going to be, it's always really entertaining. IG, like I said, JT on his signature hero, Ollie on a similar-ish signature type of hero here on his Elder Titan. Team Aster, in the meantime, they go back for the Lycan for XXX, and they get these very intriguing supports. Borax playing the Grimstroke again from game 1. Now we have the Bane Elemental for Lanem. We have seen this hero rise in stock, primarily driven by these classic Chinese players who are like, yo, all these classic guys are like, yo guys, trust, Bane. It's like Team Aster, LGD, Vici. Have all the old heads on those teams. Keep bringing this hero to pass. In this game, we still don't yet have a viable hero to use Bane against. Nobody really suffers at this point in time from being Fiend script all that much. Nobody is... Oh, I love this troll pick, actually. To get themselves a troll warlord right now. Oh, dude, this draft is so fun. All right. Hold on. Let's want to slow it down for a sec. I just want to make sure that everybody who got themselves a free sub from Ginger Boogie has said thank you. All right, shout out to Ginger Boogie. What a legend. So this has been a game of chess, this particular draft. Bane Elemental was picked in the event that IG was going to go for one of these core heroes that needs mobility in the fight. Some Ursa, maybe not Ursa. They had to ban that because Ursa sucks against, like, to play into as Bane. Enrage, status resistance, you get the idea. Of course, you don't want to be playing into Sven either. But against a lot of these other heroes, you're happy to do it. You're happy to use Nightmare to set up for other spells. So the Nightmare setup often is spells like Split Earth, spells like Arrow. In this game, the Nightmare setup is actually going to be the Razor Static Link. You get linked, Nightmare, nothing you can do. Even this Troll Warlord, for a large portion of the game, if he ever gets Nightmare and then linked, that's just curtains. So that's a setup from Team Aster. On the other side for IG though, they're making sure the reason why they went ET Troll after the Tidehunter, they not only get themselves an absurd amount of team fight, but you get a hero who, if you bail him out of trouble, right? Troll does a similar thing to Ursa in the sense that if you can keep him alive at the very last moment, he presses R and the fight continues. Even if he's on very low HP, you can still find a way to reintroduce him into the engagement. And because you've got a hero like ET who gives you negative armor of the debuff, it's easier for you to kill heroes to get yourself back into the team fight. So it's very, very intriguing the way both teams have approached this now. But it's ultimately going to come down to this last pick because White Album is chilling. He's waiting to see what the matchup is going to be. We don't know what Emo's playing just yet. We see all 4 last bans are 4 of these mid heroes. And also a lot of Emo's heroes have been removed. No Storm, no Invoker, no Lina, no Void Spirit, no Quap, no Puck, no TA. My god, what is left in the mid lane? There's Death Prophet, there's Leshrac. You're playing into Razor, right? So you'd ideally want something that's good against Razor as well. Ember Spirit, maybe? Shadow. Ooh. 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 Shadow Fiend. Yo. Alrighty. So they will now decide. Where are we putting Razor? What's Monet gonna play? Because their draft right now is not necessarily geared towards dealing with the Shadow Fiend. And now it makes more sense why they have Elder Titan. Because now they don't just have the buff up of the physical damage of the Troll Warlord, right? But, listen. Have you ever eaten Shadow Fiend spells after you find yourself being debuffed by natural order? It's not very fun. It's not a great time. It's not very enjoyable. The fear mechanic as well in this game is going to be phenomenal. And the thing is, it's very difficult to figure out who to focus first, Shadow Fiend or Troll Warlord. Either of the other one can have such a large impact in the fight without you. And they go for the Monet Clinks. Alright, Clinks. Clinks has become very favored. People love this hero nowadays. A ton of damage being dealt out by him. And they certainly did need a massive amount of physical punch. But they don't have much team fight themselves. They don't have much magic damage. Yo, I think IG is doing it, yo. I think IG is doing it. Yo. Yeah. Team Aster, listen, Team Aster do have a terrifying amount of very quick physical damage. And they do have ways of having this Razor anchor down in the fight and having the fight happen around him, especially in the event that he finds an early enough BKB. Then you can charge down onto the Troll Warlord, leash him, and the only hero you have to worry about is the Shadow Fiend in that instance. You grip him, use all the damage from Clinks on him as well. It's definitely possible for Team Aster. It's just a little bit execution heavy. But at the same time, if I look at this IG support duo, between the Nyx and the Elder Titan, not very easy for these spells to land. I mean, we saw game 1, Kaka didn't have the easiest time reliably using his spells. So that will mean that for IG, they also need some degree of high execution, at least before they get the Blink Dagger out on the Tide Hunter. Once they get Blink on Tide, things become a lot easier. After every assault with Blink Tide, just jump in, get a Gush. That's going to give you more than enough slow for one of these additional spells to land on a target. This is going to be very interesting. So IG versus Team Aster, final game. Winner moves on to the winner bracket final. The loser drops down to the lower bracket. It is what it is. We have to claw your way back the old-fashioned way. Which one of those two teams ends up there? Let's find out together. The finale, game 3. We are going to have a winner after this. It's not going to be 2-0, thank God. And who do I favor? Like I said, I still favor IG. I like their team fight here. And I really do think that half the time I see them get to a game 3, they win that game 3. So let's see how they rock. Also, I personally believe that right now, this Tide Hunter hero is slightly busted. Just a little bit. And if you don't have a real way of dealing with it, you're going to be in some trouble. So let's see what they got. Aster versus IG, game 3.
The battle begins.
This time around, there is no pudge, so no shenanigans when it comes to the bounty runes. And even though there's no shenanigans in that regard, IG still wind up being able to claim 3 for themselves. Zori, you are correct. I am overlooking that, actually. They do have that potential. Soulbind is actually going to be crazy in this game. And the thing is, Borax played so well in game number 1 that it definitely should not be discounted. The potential he has to play really well with this Grimstroke. But that is... You know, I'm going to file that under what I was saying earlier in terms of them needing to execute very, very well to succeed in their fights. It's a very execution-heavy draft here for Team Aster. It's not one that just works out by itself on paper. Also, to make matters worse, Emo this time around is playing the Shadow Fiend, so they will have wave clear against the Lycan army. But we're still quite a ways away from having that be the story of the game. In the early laning phase, here on top, Kaka going to be trying to assist JT as much as he can. This is a lane where JT can take some unnecessary damage against Monet. It's a lot of physical damage thrown in by the Clinks. So you need to play very carefully. Can't just like roll forward like it's any other lane matchup. Kaka, of course, will assist them, dragging back the creeps as needed until we get to the requisite levels of survivability for JT. But dude, Lanham is so good at Dota. Honestly, he's so disgustingly good at Dota. Every single time, this guy will make the perfect split-second decision. Interrupts Kaka's attempts to pull the wave favorably for JT. Does get dragged back into this creep wave, but given where the wave could have gone back to, certainly a well worth it endeavor here for Lanham. Down bottom, Borax and XXX. We have a reprisal of both of these players on these heroes from game number 1. In game 1, they really terrified Fly. He played that Ursa. Wasn't always having the greatest time here. However, here in game number 3, they've decided not to have Kaka be the one that's down bottom. They've given him Ollie instead as the support, which will be able to help a little bit more in keeping the Fly troll in good stead. But the main thing though is that playing troll a lot easier to farm a lane versus Lycan, and you can do so in a much safer way. So it's unlikely we're gonna have as many situations as we did in game 1 where Fly was basically near death half the time. Still though, for the most part, the one dynamic that will not change is their ability to stop the Lycan from farming, which is relatively null, so XXX will still have a free lane as he did in game 1. The question is though, because Borax, oh, actually they get an Echo Stomp out. Ollie, Spirit returns. There was a root. There's a lot of damage coming in. They might get this kill. One more right click from the Ollie ET will do the trick. XXX in the trees. Do they find him? Ollie, the buff might be expired by now, and Fly cannot get the vision onto XXX. Nice jukes through the trees. And with the assistance of the Ink Swell from Borax, they ensure that this Lycan does not fall as the first blood in this game. Came very close, but everybody ends up walking out. This is so annoying. He's like wolves just snapping at your heels. Kaka will come around this mid lane. I think maybe just hoping to find an impale and potentially stop him grabbing the water rune, but sadly can't do it. Things as they are. Emo a bit behind in the CS, but this is Shadow Fiend. The scary levels of Shadow Fiend hasn't been reached just yet. Level 5 is coming, and that's when the game really begins for that hero. Also, speaking of level 5, now that we have level 4 for JT top, this is why Tide is so disgusting. You get level 4, oh, hold that thought. First blood might be coming in the mid lane. Who's gonna get brought down? White Album lives. He manages to get a kill first. Borax with the Inkswell stun out onto Emo. They might be able to bring down the SF. The armor provided by the tower will keep Emo alive. And they end up getting the kill onto Kaka, but it's not going to be a first blood kill. I think he died to the tower pot shot. As a result, no one gets the first blood, but Team Aster will be very happy to be the first ones to find the kill. So at least some experience goes the way of White Album before he loses his own life. Still though, it's very disconcerting that Emo is ultimately one of the last ones standing in that fray. And now? Is JT... Oh, yo, dude. Alright, this is how you know that IG feels good about this game. They're starting out with the all chats. And the thing is, they can start doing this now. JT can, for the most part, be left alone top. With the Ring of Health, level 3 Kraken Shell, 2 points into the Anchor Smash. You're not killing this guy. If he dies, it's honestly his own fault. Kaka and Borax fighting around this bounty rune, but Kaka, no, he's played enough games against Grimstroke to know that there's no point here. Although, there might be a turn. Kaka, Impale. Will it come out? Yes, it does. Dude, Kaka, nice job. He knew that if he just stuck around here, Borax might just use Inkswell at the correct time. And there's no way at that point to stop him from taking the bounty rune. But if you draw him away from the rune first and then come back, there's no time to trigger both Inkswell and avoid an Impale. The big thing, though, is the advantage they gain by not needing to keep a babysitter in this top lane. Not yet the case for Team Aster that they can afford to leave their heroes to their own devices. So this is going to be more efficient overall for IG. Kaka now occupying the mid lane because Shadow Fiend wants to begin dipping into the jungle. And Emo's... It's not like he's not farmed already. Only going to get more so as time goes on. It might be an engagement shot to Fly. Lanem has made a big rotation. Inkswell out onto one of these Lycan Wolves. Will they be able to actually get this kill? Fly will get stunned by the Inkswell, but there'll also be an Echo Stomp from Ollie, which buys enough time, prevents XXX or Borax from getting too far forward, and Borax might just die here. Ollie cleaves him down. He's gonna go for the double kill. Brings down Lanem as well. There was a rotation from the Razor coming in from the mid lane to clean up the life of the Troll Warlord with the Plasma Field, but it also comes at a cost. Top lane, Monet is also gonna get cleaned up by a rotation from Shadow Fiend. So you lose Troll down bottom, but you gain Klink's top, and in the meantime, Ollie went forth with a double kill on his Elder Titan. Certainly hashtag worth, as the kids say. You gained everything you want out of this. Fly. Unless he dies twice back to back, this would be pretty bad, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Instead, they're actually coming in to punish this. Kaka, will he find the Impale? White Album slowed down. There's the Impale. Invis Rune gets triggered out. I don't think they have vision. Yes, they do. Dust of Appearance triggered out. And they will have more than enough damage to secure this kill. The roots coming out from Fly for good measure. IG. 5 kills up right now. White Album. He stuck around bottom to try find an additional kill. Well, he was right about the fact that an additional kill would happen. He was just wrong about who the casualty would be. And the thing is, they also had their support crew around this area for a very long time. So none of them could help Klinks in the top lane. As a result, JT just happily rushes forward, cleans up the lane. The tower's already fallen. And they might kill again Lanem. Look at the damage from Ollie, dude. Nice stomp from the Centaur Conqueror, you know. Team Aster clearly paid their bribes to Gaben. But IG off to a very good start. And I think Aster need a better start than them in order to do well in this game. XXX. A lot of the positive developments of the early lane have now been eroded, with having to play further back from this ET, not being able to approach the Lycan anymore. Troll Warlord also doing so well in this game for Fly. And here's again this efficiency that they can do. They can have Kaka here alone. It's pretty chill for them. They're like, yeah, man, get that experience. It's not like actually Aster can easily kill you. Spike Carapace will protect you from most of the things that will really threaten you at this point. XXX has level 6, has the Helm of the Dominator. Oh, Kaka, they're leading into a kill middle. White Album certainly gonna die here. He knew that the far raise was the only one remaining. He tried to close the gap onto Emo, hoping against hope that he could drain enough damage to stay alive. But that hope was a vain one, and he ends up losing his life anyway. Oof. IG, yo. IG. Crushing it in this game number 3. Echo Stomp. It's landed onto XXX. Can Kaka get there fast enough? It doesn't seem like it. And it's not even about getting kills here, honestly. It's about frustrating their attempts to take this tower. I'm sure they do eventually get it now. It's not possible to stop this from happening forever. However, one thing that they do gain from this is that it took them so long that Fly now feels comfortable showing his face middle to try and look for the tier 1 in this lane. JT also in the vicinity. And I think Kaka is going to die, maybe. JT running forward with the pig pole. Has Ravage at the ready. Will throw it out. Only connecting on to 2. But that's all it needs to connect on. Nightmare seem to be saving White Album for now. Ollie finds the ET Echo Stomp. Stalls out some heroes on the periphery of the fight. And it doesn't seem like anybody's going to die from this. IG heroes falling very low right now, though. So they should try and retreat as quickly as they can. Inkswell on a Lycan Wolf. Will it find Kaka? Spy Carapace there first. They get the stun onto JT. A Gush slows him up as well. Team Aster need to realize that now is the time to retreat. Kaka's even in Vendetta mode. He actually might lead into a kill onto Lanem. Yeah, Lanem's gonna die here. And there, oh, even cancels the grip while making it happen. Even better. JT still loses his life, but make sure that it's not gonna be a free trade for the side of Team Aster. They still desperately want the tower. However, now with Fly also coming back, is it Inkswell on a Wolf? It's gonna stun onto 2. And this is gonna allow XXX to come forward with the shapeshift after the stroke of fate to bring down Kaka and Fly. Ollie now needs to flee. And Team Aster finding their groove all of a sudden. And they're chasing Emo. Inkswell will stun him on the high ground. Will they keep going for him inside the base? Yes, they will, as Borax gets a double kill off of it. 4 heroes will fall. Make it 5 if we include JT dying earlier. It turns into a full team wipe. I told y'all this game was going to be fun. IG, despite getting the tier 1 middle first, a little bit haphazard in terms of their defense of their own tier 1. And they get majorly punished for this on the map. Clinks has the maxed out Burning Barrage, of course, so we're going to see some major damage emerging in these fights once he does finish the full D-Lance. And then we'll see what other item is coming out here for him. Now the Javelin, good enough. JT, in the meantime, doesn't want Blink Dagger for his Tidehunter. Looking towards the Yule Scepter at present. I suppose, given the fact that these heroes, their chase potential from Aster is really terrifying if they just keep running at you. Being able to Yule's one of them, whether it be Razor, whether it be Lycan, just being able to prevent them from closing that gap makes you feel a little bit better. As well as the fact that it allows you to set up for Impales, Echo Stomps, Razors, etc. Also, potentially getting double blink might be overkill because Shadow Fiend already bought his now. Opting not to go for like SNY or straight BKB. Should still, we'll see what the build ends up resolving into. Whether it be a more right-click orientated build, or if he's just going to go for the pure magical damage, blink into BKB. Team Aster, they have found their Maelstrom on the Clinks. Maelstrom also available on the Troll. So both carry heroes have the items they need to keep farming. It's very even now again. The last series of minutes, phenomenal for Team Aster. And has brought the game into a situation where they actually have the farm lead right now. Lycan also able to play Dota. Not too far away from having that Helm of the Overlord ready for himself. Teamwork for Nexus. Who is favored for map 3? Right now, I cannot tell you. This game is way too close to core right now. It will largely also matter what items are bought next. Because Helm of the Overlord on one side seems to... It's going to give him a little bit more utility as well. Whether or not they get themselves the Swiftness Aura or the Granite Golem Aura. Oh, bottom lane, we have Fiend's Grip, Burning Barrage, easy kill onto Kaka. Oh, that was fast.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant has that ever been cause for celebration? There appears to be some sort of magic at work.
JT. Not out here with his team. Echo Stomp though still slows down XXX. And they might be able to find this kill. Fly, will he get another route? No, he will not. At the very least, might be able to clean up some of this army, but he should realize that now is the time to flee. Emo, here as well, throwing in some raises. They're weakening the army as much as they can. But they also... Look at the change-up. Game 1, IG would have just ran at him and tried to kill him. Game 3, IG is playing the margins. They're still coming around an area where they don't have that much vision. But Kaka is trying to find it for them. Fly, reaching it on the high ground. JT, he's next to White Album. They forced the early BKB out of this Razor. So they blink past him and look towards one of these supports. Lanem, gonna be the one that gets found out here. Slowed down by Fly. They get the easy kill onto him. They also find the Impale down onto this Grimstroke. So it'll enable Fly to get himself a double kill. And because White Album triggered up the BKB, with good reason, right? You find yourself face to face with a ravaging Tidehunter. You know that his team is not too far away. And if he ravages you, you don't know where Nyx Assassin is at that point. So you don't know if there's a follow-up from an Impale. You kind of have to pop the BKB. But once you pop the BKB, suddenly you have no real presence in that part of the map anymore, and you have to flee. It enables IG to take the tier 2 tower in the top lane, secure themselves the outpost. They also get Blink Dagger on Tidehunter. Still gonna go for the Yules, but once the surprise potential of being able to show up to the fight with a massive Ravage. Kaka. Will he find the Impale onto Lanem? Nice Nightmare from this Bane. Still seems like his own death warrant is signed, because here comes a Shadow Fiend, but Lanem with the Fiend's Grip. What a freaking player. Him, as well as the support of Borax, they lay out a trap that the Shadow Fiend ends up falling in prey to. Cost them both their lives, but Monet might be setting them up for more as he comes in right now, throws in the Burning Barrage, brings down Ollie. 2 for 2 exchange. White Album's the one that cleans up that kill. Oof, Emo, what a death. What a way to kill. Lanem, dude. Survives the Nyx Assassin initiation, gets off the grip. Between himself as well as this Grimstroke, they enable a kill that they shouldn't have been able to find. White Album will try a run down Kaka, has him leashed up right now and should be able to find this kill. TP out will succeed. Oh! What? J freaking T. Okay. Literally the last picosecond of that TP out coincided with the last moment of the BKB duration. JT took a massive roll of the dice. Oh man, that could easily have not gone his way. Okay, you know what's actually amazing? If Razor hadn't committed BKB when he first got it, if he still had 9-second BKB, that's an alive Razor right now. But because it's an 8-second BKB, it's now a dead Razor. And IG will use that time to reassert themselves on the map, moving top, killing the Bane, making sure that the area they conquered is dewarded so they can retake the outpost, and shortly thereafter, think about taking Roche themselves. Alright, right there, the Blink Dagger paid for itself. Right then and there. Tide is like, I'm glad I bought this item, man. Wow. Yo. This is why they made sure to ban Monkey King, to allow JT to play Tidehunter. Oh no. JT's Tidehunter is so good, it's crashing the server. Looks like we're having one of those days with regards to the Great Firewall, everybody, but... Oof. Yeah, it's gonna kick us just now. Then we'll just get back into it. It's taking longer than expected, so I'll just kick myself, huh? That was... Wow, I'm so impressed by what JT did there. That play single-handedly by itself. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so, Great Firewall. Say it ain't so. Alright, while the Great Firewall is busy sorting its stuff out and getting its act together,
This is actually so funny. Just to see people running, but like no movement taking place. Lol. Hello? China server? China server? Hello? Hello? What's going on? And I'm really just going to check the Chinese stream to see if they're experiencing like a big pause or whatever issue. Nah, they're going. They're going, yo. They're going. All right, so we might have to actually just switch over to the China stream. Just to make sure that we actually have a game to watch. Why does this keep happening? Every single freaking time, man. Yeah, but like, oof. Like we are definitely not gonna be finding ourselves. Hold on. Let's try reset one more time. What the hell just happened? What just happened? But hopefully everything's gonna. Are all streams down? Okay. Are we having the same problem? All right. All right. All right. All right. It's cool. All right. Check this out. Right. So I came across the Chinese stream, but the only issue is that the Chinese stream is in fairly low quality. But let's see. Let's try to deal with it. It's not just me, right? It's not just me. Okay. Sweet. I just want to make sure it's not me. I'm not the problem. If all of us are suffering in this fashion, then it is what it is. The DDoSers are winning. Lol. Yeah, the Chinese stream is like shit quality though. So I'm trying to just improve the Chinese stream quality. And then if I can do that, and I'll just bring it up on stream for a second. Also, it would probably help me a lot if I spoke Mandarin. Wait, who else's streams are done? BTS keeps resetting and it's not working too. Oof. Oof, oof, oof. All right. If this is an issue that BTS themselves are also experiencing, then I know for a fact that I'm not the proximate cause here. Which is pretty sad. Because this game seems quite lit. Hold on. I'm trying to get us a solution, yeah. I'm trying to get us a solution. The thing is, I'm on the Chinese stream, but it's literally only giving me 360p. And it's trying to force me to download the client, and I don't want to do that. I don't know what client this is. Again, I can't read Mandarin. It's a problem. All right, BTS can't connect either. Oof, that's a pretty big oof. I'm also failing to reconnect. It seems like we're just going to have to accept that. All right, listen, y'all. Okay, there's a solution here, right? There's a really bad Chinese stream. When I say really bad, I mean it's like I said, it's 360p type of quality. It is barely visible, but I can bring this up on screen for us. So I'm gonna do that. Let's do that. Let's see. We do a young window capture. And you will forgive the quality of this because, like I say, it's literally not allowing me at this particular point in time. I actually can't do anything about increasing the stream quality, and I don't know why. But hold on, I'm just quickly finding it. All right, there we go. There we go. Look how terrible that looks. God, that looks ass. Oh, that's disgusting. You know, in the background, I'm still trying to sort out the issue here with Dota. Let's actually make this a window capture. Let's give it that window. There we go. And then we'll give that priority. There we go. Oh, no, wait, hold on. That's not what I wanted to do. Hold on, I messed this one up. And there we go again. Yeah, cool. This is a bit of a problem, of course, because, you know, the what's happening in the background, unfortunately, will directly affect this stream, but it is what it is. What can we do? What can we do? What can we do about the situation, huh? But yeah, the way things are looking right now, God, I'm so sad about this because this game is so exciting. Dude, I'm trying to get back into the feed as well in Dota. But while that's still failing, let's just quickly talk about what's happening on the map. It's 18-18 right now. If you see the scoreline, if you can see the scoreline with this horrendous quality stream. Unfortunately, one of the big things though is that for Team Aster, it feels like they still need to stay ahead. And the only hero that's ahead right now is the Clinks. The scary thing though is that the Clinks might actually be enough all by his lonesome. He just needs like 1 or 2 engagements. And then in the midst of those fights, after you've gotten a good engagement, you know, you just run with the Lycan army. Clinks does a ton of damage to structures. Buildings can melt. So for Aster, although they need to stay ahead, it's easier for them to bring down structures. As well, for the side of IG, they also have very easy building take with the Shadow Fiend, Troll Warlord. So they don't really have to rely on one particular hero as long as they have the entire complement at the ready. Also, yeah, we're back in the other game, right? But it's still at the exact same moment, still frozen at about 20 minutes. So this is all we can do. The DDoSers have won today. It is what it is. Hey, Big Raider. Big Raider. Double raid day. What's up, y'all? Is it letting you change the Hoya quality stream? It's not letting me do it. Like, when I try to change that quality, let me show you. Where'd the stream go? Every time I try to change it, it just brings up this pop-up. It's not allowing me to do anything here. Wants me to sign up somewhere. Wait, maybe I'm being an idiot. Hold on. I'm going to quickly just take this URL. Maybe use a different browser. What a big raider. Shout out Halberd. Halberd Zere. What a legend. What a legend. We're pulling through at the right time. You came through at the perfect time though, because there's so many problems that we're experiencing. All right, I think I found a decent-ish solution here. It seems like for some reason this browser is where the problem is. It's not letting me change quality there, but it lets me change quality if I go into a different browser, which is kind of bizarre. But let's try get it as high quality as we can. And there we go. Okay, not Dota. I want the display. There we go. So now we actually see heroes. Now we have something visible for ourselves. It's not great. We don't get the game audio that we want. So I'm just going to quit that part of the game. But it it works, I suppose. It works. It works. I'm glad you had a great day, Dev. I'm glad, fam. I'm glad. I am glad. I am glad. So shout out to Halberd. Halberd Zede is also one of the people. I would not exist as I do today without Halberd Zede. So shout out to that guy. And let's see where they go right now, Team Aster. Pretty big smoke gank. Yet again, Kaka ruins this. Just puts his body on the line. He's like, y'all want to get to my team? You have to get through me. And I'm not going to allow that to happen. Kaka, try to jump back with the impale. Doesn't find anybody just yet. Has finished up his blink dagger. So that's what's been enabling them to get as far forward as he's been doing right now. Yo, you have no idea, Dev. You have no idea. Oh, BTS are back. BTS are back. Okay, all right. If BTS are back, let's try reconnect that side. I should actually just turn off the Dota 2 thing for a second here. I wonder, right, the way that this game is looking right now. I am concerned about... Right, we'll talk about it in a second as Kaka just going to lose his life. Bye-bye, Kaka. Echo Stomp comes in from Ollie. Nobody's targeted just yet. White Album trying to run down Fly. They have the Drain out, but the Invis also procced up. At the same time, XXX, him and Monet will remove Emo from the fight. No Emo. That is huge. That's such a big deal. Not having to deal
with this entire Shadow Fiend allows them to chase further forward. They're looking for Ollie. The right clicks coming through from Monet. Will they kill Ollie? Yes, they do. And Fly activates BKB, jumps back. JT has the Ravage, will let her rip. Catches on to 3 heroes. They eviscerate White Album. Lanem tries to stay alive with the Nightmare. Fly doesn't want to take that smoke. Decides to run away, going north. And JT, do they have enough to kill him? They're throwing out the Burning Barrage. Monet throws in those right clicks. Lotus Orb buying some time. Forced off in 3. Will JT be able to get it off? He forces forward, but it might be too late. Monet able to get the kill. Kaka does jump in with the Blink Impale. Regrettably, not able to find the necessary target. Very nicely done, though, by the side of IG. By the way, can somebody tell me who's casting on BTS side? Because I can't get back in the thing. So I want to see if I have them on the friends list and I'll just spectate their game. Still though, Kaka on the high ground, looking for Lanem. Impale back onto Monet. Whilst there's a Soulbind onto the Troll Warlord as well as this Nyx Assassin. Both of them will get taken out. Quick deaths, quick kills. The path to Roshan now lies open. And sadly, I'm struggling to reconnect in the normal way. So we still have to abide ourselves by this particular stream. It is what it is. What can we do? Still, though, ultimately, the big thing for me is they're still finding ways to actually get these fights going in the direction that they really want them to. IG. Losing out a lot on the map right now. Aegis in tow for Monet. And we do have Team Aster starting to really assert themselves on the map. 9/10k gold lead. Do mention that they need to be ahead as much as humanly possible, but this kind of game state where you can tank big ravages and still not wind up losing the big fights really does make a large difference in the grand scheme of things. Alright, I restarted Dota. I'm just gonna quickly try to get back in that way. Oh no. What the hell? Oh god. You see, this is what it did to me last time as well on the other stream. It let me change quality for a while, and then it just suddenly bounces me out of it. Hold on, I'm gonna try to find another browser. Oh my god, are you kidding? Today? Really? Imagine. They also hire stream sniping. Lol. Alright, I'm gonna find us another browser because Huya is being a little bit prejudicial in terms of allowing us to maintain this particular stream, at least through these Chromium browsers. So we're gonna change this up once again. So give me one moment, y'all. Let's pause the stream. We're just changing streams again. Lol. You love to see it. This is what we got. This is what we have to do sometimes to make sure that we bring you the Dota. So if you know, sometimes you're watching a game and it's very easy to complain about, yo, why is this particular streamer not doing this thing well? Why is this game not happening as quickly as I'd like it to? There are challenges, y'all. There are challenges. Hold on, we're just changing streams again. We might have to keep like jumping between browsers just to make this work. But I'll do it for y'all. Happily do it for y'all. Back in the game here. Lifeline the gang. They have managed to survive the first half duration of this Aegis of the Immortal. Haven't been brought down just yet. The game still seems decent enough for them that they, despite being 14k gold behind, still have the capability of fighting. And that's why Aster hasn't been able to break through the high ground just yet. They come across Fly here with the Burning Army. Unfortunately for him, not enough damage to really fully threaten this troll. Gonna try for Emo here. Drops down the Burning Army with the Burning Barrage, but however, the Requiem blocked by the BKB, but little did he know, Fly stuck around. But look at this, the Soulbind from Borax making the damage. just sweep in. The turnaround will come in. There's the Ravage catching on to 3 heroes. Once again, Monet still alive though. And this Clink's damage, this Clink's survivability, proving to be a huge thorn in the side. Once he picked up this Eye of Skadi, it's been turning everything around. Oof. Asuna, that was the incognito window, the one that we had beforehand. That was the incognito window. Now we're just jumping into an entirely different browser. Teamwork for Nexus, shout out to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The thing is, right, if they get one more item on Emo or Fly, especially a damage item on Emo, I think that's where they're really struggling right now for IG. They're able to find and isolate this Monet, Clinks. They're able to find and isolate the XXX Lycan. Same is true of the White Album Razor. The issue is, can they kill them during the duration of the Ravage? JT might need to just rush Refresher Orb at this point. Double Ravage seems to be a priority to ensure that they actually get reliable damage onto the field. I'm starting to get a little bit of jitters on the lag on my end, which is kind of interesting, kind of bizarre, but whatever. You know what we need to get to in this game, actually? We need to get to a point where we don't have the Side Hunter, for example, having to fully worry about where to go. If he could get closer to the Clinks and get the Anchor Smash out onto him as the Ravage was reaching him at the same time, it would actually make such a huge difference. Regrettably, he's still so far away from feeling safe enough to use it. Still far away from just having access to the Ravage with the Refresher. Although he has queued it up and he is planning himself for the particular point in the game where this is built.